Welcome to another episode of the Banner Report podcast, starring Cody Adams and Steve Crowley.
Who's that?
Yo, pick up the phone.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Banner Report podcast, starring me, Cody Adams, and him,
Steve Crowley.
We are coming to you live on March 31st, 2023, on a Friday night. The Utah Jazz stroll into town to take on your Boston Celtics. Steve, how are you?
Same shit, bigger pile. I don't know.
What was the one last week? Same shit, different pants.
You already know. All right.
I'm sensing a theme. Well, that's good. That's good. I agree. It's been an interesting yet boring week. The Red Sox are back. It was opening day the other day, so baseball's back in season. But we still have some unfinished business here in the basketball season with the Celtics. The Jazz coming to town. They're down their arguably best player, Lauri Markkanen. He's out tonight, but so is Al Horford and Robert Williams. They're both sitting out as well. Oh, Jordan Clarkson's out too.
And Colin Sexton.
Colin Sexton and Rudy Gay. Okay, that was weird. I just thought I saw Lauri. That must have just been a game time decision.
I mean, really, missing Rudy Gay is a dagger for them. You know, I don't know. If
Well, we're going to talk about Rudy Gay. And I did a deep dive on a draft not too long ago, and Rudy Gay was a part of it, and I was like shocked. But
35.
yeah, so the Jazz are basically a skeleton crew. The Celtics are coming off a back-to-back where last night they destroyed the Bucks in Milwaukee. A statement win if there was any, but let's do a quick breakdown of this game. The spread, when I checked it less than an hour ago, but before the injury report came out, the Celtics were favored at minus 13.5. So big spread.
Spread. This could be a big letdown game. You know, after you got real high on that venison that we ate last night. So
it's probably a lot bigger now that I just saw the basically you and I are starting for the Utah Jazz out there.
The injury report, they have to drop it like 2 hours before the game or something like that.
Oh, okay, so that's updated.
Spread is pretty much right on.
Not many games. Not many games end with a 13-point difference in points, unless you're the Bucks and the Celtics, in which we mopped the floor and won by 30. But generally, double-digit spreads almost never happen. They almost never hit. I don't know the stats on that. I could be way wrong, but
I've heard the same.
I think that's pretty big, especially now it's crunch time. The Jazz are a playoff team, and the Celtics are fighting for the 1 seed. So the over-under points is 232. Any predictions for the score of this game? Or any predictions on the bets? What would you take? What's your action?
I'll probably take the Jazz to cover.
Okay.
But I think the over might hit, though. I mean, last time we were talking about, the over was like 234 or something like that for the last game. And that was, 2 Fridays ago we saw them?
Yep.
And they got 234 with like 5 minutes left in like the third or something like that.
It was a offensive explosion. It was 118 to 117, I think, was the final of that one. And the Jazz bested us. I got some picks here for you. I got the Walker Kessler prop, points plus rebounds over 23.5. And parlay that or split them up. I get the Jazz covering at 13.5. So I think if the Jazz are to keep it close, Walker Kessler is going to have a big game because their other 7-footer, Lauri Markkanen's out, and both the Celtics bigs are out. So big Luke Cornette versus Walker Kessler matchup, and I think I'm going to take Walker Kessler in that one.
Might have 20 rebounds on his own tonight.
Yeah.
Might have a dunk or two for him to hit the over on the head.
Seriously. So far, under is slapping. The ball's flying out of bounds left and right. Nobody's hit. Everybody's clanking rim shots. It's 3-0 right now with 10 minutes left.
Eric White is doing his best to outscore the Jazz by himself.
D White in the
What?
starting lineup. The starting lineup was D White, Tatum, Brown, Griffin, and Smart.
Yeah. It's like the same as usual starting lineup. You just got Griffin in there at the center instead of Al.
Mm-hmm.
Still spreads the floor a little bit. Energy guy. He's a veteran player. Knows where to be on the court. Won't
Yeah.
hurt you. I don't think.
I think Blake Griffin's minutes have been nothing less than impactful every time he's played. I think he's been a valuable guy for what he is.
I've yet to see him be a negative out there.
Especially last night when he's getting headbutted by goddamn Thanasis, or not the Tecumpo, but who's, gotten a scrum because his brother was getting mopped all over the floor by the Celtic starters.
He was getting the business all night.
I might as well talk about it. Probably a game that's going to be seminal in the first seed fight between the Bucks and the Celtics. The Celtics win in Milwaukee, beat them 140-99. I got some stats for you on that. Jaylen Brown stats for the night: 30, 5 and 5 on 13 out of 20 from the floor, 3 from 5 from 3, and he finishes a plus 29.
Great efficiency.
Tatum, 40 points, 8 boards, and 1 assist on 12 of 18 from the field, 8 from 10 from 3.
Uh-huh.
Finished with a plus 36. Surprisingly, he was not the leader in plus minus. Do you know who was?
Rob Willard? No,
Nope.
it wasn't Rob Willard. He didn't play that many minutes. D White?
Nope.
Wasn't Smart. He was a plus 35 as well.
Yeah, Smart was plus
Wow.
35. Yeah. Nope.
Starter?
Nope.
All right.
But he played more minutes than any starting guard on the floor, I think, besides Jalen. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He was very impactful. He was getting to the rim like on command last night. Just do whatever he wanted out there.
It really stuck out to me. His stat line for the night was 14, 3 and 5, 6 of 13 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, which is not normal for him. He can generally hit pretty well. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. But plus 41. So he was just making things happen. Must have been on the defensive end there.
Could have also just been part of some big runs. He might have been playing more minutes when the Bucks after they sat Giannis too.
Yeah.
They sat Giannis was like 8 minutes left in the ball or something like that.
I think he played like 28 minutes, like 25. He didn't play that many minutes.
Brogdon being your backup guard, he was getting a lot of those minutes in the garbage time that started halfway through the third.
Yeah. Giannis' stat line was he was 24, 7 and 2 off 11 for 27 from the floor, 0 for 5 from 3, negative 32.
A minus 32.
Yeah.
That's funny.
0 for 5 from 3. I think that stands out to me the most.
The thing that stands out to me the most is 27 shots for 24 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like that's a shooting guard, like a volume scorer. It's like a Bradley Beal type night.
Yeah, I didn't even see what he was from the line.
He didn't.
I don't think he got there.
He took 3 free throws last night.
Yeah, he must have not got there
Least
much.
he's taken all year when he plays more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was a showcase. It was just a masterclass right by the Celtics team. They kind of just had their way with them.
Yeah.
They couldn't miss, which it's generally hard to beat the Celtics when they can't miss. But defensively, they look like they had that game plan down pat. They look like the Ime Udoka Celtics from last year, maybe the best defensive team of all time.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I like seeing that the ball was popping, finding the right guys out there. I mean, Tatum was hitting. I watched the highlights. Tatum was hitting ridiculous threes.
Yeah, he couldn't miss.
He was hitting
He couldn't miss.
sidestep threes with a hand in his face. He was taking Giannis one-on-one off the dribble and scoring. Like it was one of those games for Tatum. And if Tatum's doing that, you're not going to beat the Celtics.
Yeah, I do think there is an issue though with the Bucks and the Celtics matchup, specifically for the Bucks. Their wings, they don't have an answer for Tatum and Brown.
No, that's what I've been saying all year. Everybody's been talking about the Bucks are going to beat the Celtics, but like, you're going to put Joe Ingles on Jason Tatum. You're going to put Jay Crowder on Jason Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum and Brown were just blowing by him all night.
I mean, they got Drew still.
Yeah, he's a great Drew's. Maybe he's like one of the best defensive guards in the league.
Yeah,
if not the best now.
But he can only cover one of them, and they're going to let Giannis roam off the Smart. That's their game plan every night.
Giannis play. He hangs back,
He
plays
played off
drop.
smart. He did what they did with Rob Will. Rob Will cover the guy in the corner so he can just dive down and block shots.
Hmm. And Brooke Lopez, though, one of the better defenders in the league, and it didn't matter because Celtics were getting whatever they wanted.
Well, that's because they put Al out there.
Yeah,
You're playing Al, then you can't not cover him. You shoot
yeah. He
out
he
of the
was.
ball this year.
I think it was 4 from 5 from three.
Yeah, you hit a logo three. That was the farthest three I've ever seen Al Horford hit.
Hmm.
So like you got to cover him all the way out there. So no, Brooke Lopez, he can't guard the rim.
Yeah.
So he's got to be out
We
there.
have that game plan. I think we have those guys kryptonite. They're another team that we just. I think we had them in the Sixers. We had their numbers.
Grayson Allen's out there for a wing defender too.
He's not bad at defense. You see that cram he had the other night? It was
Yeah, but
absolutely insane.
what gets buried with that is he had 3 points that night.
Yeah, those were two of them.
He had
Ferocious.
3 points against the Celtics. So
Was that an and one dunk? That might have been all his points.
But,
It should have been an and one dunk. Um, yeah, Middleton didn't have a great game. He left the game. He got smacked in the face by a Jalen Brown elbow.
yeah, Jalen was doing what he's doing tonight, where he's jumping into the body and bringing the ball high and caught Milton square in the teeth.
Well, he was spitting blood and chiclets all. I don't think he lost any teeth, but I mean, it's not like he. It's not like he could have made him any uglier. He's not the best looking guy.
Oh, we definitely don't hope for nobody losing teeth. That's what
No,
we fix. That's
no,
tough.
that's terrible. Yeah, I mean, it happens. It's basketball. Sometimes you catch
Probably
them
doesn't
out.
happen more.
Yeah,
Like guys coming down with rebounds with the elbows out. Like surprised Dwight Howard didn't knock 5 guys out cold back in his prime every night.
yeah, clearing space with your elbows.
He catches the ball like this. He's 7 foot. He's taking out everybody in his path.
Fucking one we were doing like a 3-on-3 basketball tournament for Suffolk University, like intramurals, and there was this tall guy. He looked a bit like he was probably like 6'6", which is not tall for the NBA, but it's tall for real life. And he was going to dominate. He was in good shape. He looked like what's his name? The guy who got kicked out of the league for being anti-Semitic.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, he's back.
Good work with the Lakers, right?
Yeah, Myers Leonard.
Yeah,
He looked a bit like Myers Leonard. Yeah. So I remember we were all playing, and I think my team was one of the better teams. Shout out to my boys, Chris and Alex. But we were sitting because it's like a constant 3-on-3 tournament. So after you win, you sit, and then you wait to see who you're playing next. And this guy is dominating down the other side of the court. Then I see him like running off, and his nose was like over here.
Oh, he caught one.
Yeah, his nose was
Oh,
fucking hanging off his face. Oh, it's brutal.
good. Like Swatowski from Longest Yard.
Yeah, I mean, all you do for that is just give me that.
Yeah, you got to do it before the adrenaline goes away, or else you're not gonna want to do it.
Yeah, and I got a big schnozola myself, and I've been hitting it a few times. Luckily, it's never been broken.
Yeah, we're both pretty lucky in that one.
Yeah, knock on wood. Having said that, next time I go down to Saugus, I'm gonna catch a fucking Steve Crowley elbow right and snap my shit off.
You act like I rebound.
Yeah, it's true. I am the hustle border. That's all I got. I give you a good effort on the defensive glass, and that's it.
We get everybody extra possessions. It's great. We love it. Why we
Uh,
keep feeding you.
yeah. Just circling back to the Bucks, only one player had 20 points, 20 points or above, and that was Giannis. So
I mean, I'm just not. I don't see them beating us in a 7-game series. Like, doesn't matter if we got home court or not. We
no.
went to Milwaukee and we beat the brakes off them. And people keep saying, "Oh, it's second night of a back-to-back. 5 games in 7 nights or whatever it was."
Hmm.
But Giannis and Drew only played 2 games in the last 5 nights.
Didn't they sit Middleton for the game?
Milton didn't play the game before, and neither did I think Ingles didn't play either. Like it's not like Indianapolis to Milwaukee is like a 5-hour drive, and that's what I traveled from the night before. Like
Yeah.
took a PJ. It was 2 hours. Oh, he played a back to back, and it's not like Giannis and Drew were playing crazy minutes. They both played like 33, 34 minutes the night before because it's the Pacers and they just dominated them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing that the Bucks do better than the Celtics is they fight a bad team, beat the brakes off of them, and then just go sit for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that is a skill, obviously, as we've learned this season.
Yeah,
Celtics do not possess.
I don't really bring that whole second game on a back to back. I don't. That's whatever. It'd be different if the game came down to the wire and they just didn't have the legs to finish it. If they Celtics ended up winning by 7 because the Bucks just couldn't mount that comeback in the fourth. But the second night of a back to back doesn't have you getting mollywopped by 41 points.
No, the
down
Bucks
49 points because you're on the second night of a back to back.
the Bucks wanted that game. It just got out of hand.
Fired everybody. They sat guys the night before so they could have a healthy roster for the night.
Mm-hmm. And now they run into danger of out of losing that 1 seed, and we're going to talk about it in the look ahead. It's going to be a tough go of it for the Celtics to get that 1 seed, but that helps. I mean, that certainly helps. Now you get the tiebreaker over them.
Yeah, I mean, you have to win out and they have to lose out.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I will say we played the Raptors twice. They play the Raptors. We basically play the same schedule, except they play more games. But we'll talk about that later. We'll give our predictions on that. Thanasis Antetokounmpo, I wanted to talk about him a little bit. He's a puto, huh?
Dude, who rides coattails worse, him or Klay Thompson?
And I want to play at least Klay has rings to it. Well, I guess Thanasis has 1.
Yeah, but at least Klay plays.
Yeah, Klay's one of the best shooters of all time. Thanasis is one of the best.
Plays with 2 other Hall of Famers, and he played with a third too at one point.
Yeah, Thanasis just has one of the best brothers of all time.
His brothers on the league, he's not playing, I don't think.
Yeah, he has 2 other brothers who aren't in the league either, though. Alex Antetokounmpo or Alexis, whatever his name is, and Kostas.
They both had minutes in the league. At one point, they had 3 brothers on the Bucks.
3 brothers.
It's like, thanks, Giannis. Like you got your brothers on the team just taking up roster spots. I'm sure Bud was very happy about that.
Steve, I'll give you $20 if you can guess Thanasis' stat line for his career. Just points, rebounds, and assists. And then I'll get into the shooting percentage just because I wrote this down.
0.1 for all 3?
No, that's this season, though. This season, he's got like 0.2 points, 0.3 boards. Like, it's ridiculous.
Does he average more than 1 of anything?
Yeah.
1.3 points?
His stat line's crazy. I wrote this down. I didn't realize. Let's see it. Guess it. See if you can guess it. Exactly.
1.3 points. We got 0.2 assists and 1.6 rebounds.
No, you're too low on him. He's averaging 3 points, 2 boards, and 1 assist a game in his 5-year career.
I ever would have thought.
Better?
I don't think he ever put up those numbers in one game, to be honest.
He's averaging 3 more points than I am for a career in that basketball league, NBA.
It's because we don't have brothers that are as good as Giannis.
Exactly. He's shooting 51% from the field. Mind you, he's a power forward. And he can't shoot the 3 ball. He's 15% from 3.
Average minutes. And they say don't shoot unless it's a dunk.
53% from the free throw line, too. He's Shaq without any skill. And size.
Like Mason Plumlee.
Yeah, seriously. Jordan Clarkson's in. Is that Jordan? No, that's not him.
No, he's out.
That's just another dude with French braids.
With the Walker Kessler over under, you had 20.5 points.
23.5.
He's got 6 points and 3 rebounds already. So
yeah, I mean that's basically I wish I took it in real life. I didn't think about it outside of.
Sorry to all of our viewers live right now that we didn't get that bet into you earlier.
I mean, if you follow us, Steve, you're hitting at about a 50% clip. So, although you've only made like 4 predictions.
Yeah, my predictions are all pretty shit. Let's be real here.
But
hot take.
That's why they call it gambling, not winning. Let's see what else I got for us here. You want to talk about the NBA Players Association not lowering the minimum draft age to 18?
The MBPA decided not to do that.
Yeah, why? What is the end
Um,
result?
I don't know. I don't know what the how that helps them.
Because you can just play in the G League, right? Don't you get paid in the G League?
Yeah, that's what everybody's doing. You can play overseas. You can play in the G League. Like Lamelo went overseas, then came into the league. You know, your top five MVP candidates all played. No, three out of your top five MVP candidates played overseas.
Tatum didn't.
And Embiid didn't either.
Yeah, he played at Kansas. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking the Euro players. Now you got guys coming through Ignite in the G
Jalen
League.
Green. You get the kid Scoot Henderson coming up.
Yeah, he's supposed to be really good too. I mean, Victor Wembanyama plays overseas. He's gonna be the number one overall pick. I mean, just raising it up to 18 or keeping it at 18, I don't mind. I wish they would just get rid of the one and done rule or make
No,
them.
that's the thing. They won't do that.
I like that there's an option for them to go get paid now. I think that now that you have NIL money too in college, I think that's part of it where it's like that's fine. You know, let these kids get paid and get an education.
Well, I want to understand the logic of the argument. They don't want to get rid of it because if they did, then everybody would just go play in the NBA.
You have a lot
And
of playouts that never made any money too.
what do you mean?
Guys get declare for the draft, and as soon as you declare for the draft, you're ineligible to play in college or anything like that. You can play in the G League if they pick you up. You have to go to tryouts and everything like that. So you got guys that got to go through the G League, but not every team has a G League team. So it's still a finite amount of G League spots too. So you end up with guys just getting pushed to play overseas. Where if you keep it at 18, they have to at least play 1 year college where they're going to get paid and they're going to be better when they come into the NBA. You know,
So I guess this is just like a
better comparatively. I think that when you play overseas and play in the G League, I think you get better than college. But
yeah, I would agree.
because like I mean, look at how the league's going now. I mean, your most dominant players grew up playing overseas.
Yeah, you're playing against professional basketball players. You're not playing against a guy who's going to be fucking doing my taxes at H&R Block
You're not
next
playing
year.
against an accountant that happens to have a sweet jumper. Like you're playing against grown men who, hey, this is how they feed their family. At the end of the
Yeah.
day,
So is it just an effort? I'm sorry, what were you saying?
so that's why I thought it was so impressive the way that like Luka was playing professionally in Barcelona since he was like 14.
Yeah, he was like born to play professional basketball.
He was wild.
You know, like he was just born and bred in like a lab. But so I guess it's just an effort to preserve the college game,
But
right?
I guess so. But I mean, at the same time, it doesn't force you to go to college. You can still do the G League thing and everything.
Well, right. I mean, I think the rule is stupid. I think if you're good enough to play at 18, you should play at 18. That's how you get a 20-year career of dominance like LeBron James.
Yeah, but there's a lot of guys that came out of high school that never did that. Like Kendrick Perkins was drafted out of high school.
Yeah, and how many people who were forced to play college tore their ACL and like permanently damaged their knee and wouldn't, played themselves for free before like last year
Yeah, that's what
out of an NBA career.
you can get paid to play.
Yeah, no, I know, but the one and done rule's been since 2004, 5.
Oh, it's like 2006, 2007, I think.
Mm.
Because I know that I think Perk got drafted after LeBron.
Yeah.
And LeBron was 03. I feel like
Um.
07, something like that. But anyways, it's like I kind of like it because you're having these kids still get somewhat of an education and like somewhat of an education in basketball before they come in. I mean, I know they're
I
not
think
getting real education at school, but I mean, if they want to, they have the option to stay and like do all four and still get paid to do it. So you show them that too.
I mean, yeah, I think it's just goes without saying that they should have always been got compensated for playing for
Easily.
these colleges. I think that's easy. That's an easy argument. It's an absolute travesty that it's taken this long. But I just don't, if I don't know, like the 18, I just don't see a real reason for it.
Yeah, I mean, me either. I'm just playing devil's advocate at this point, trying to figure out what the NBPA is thinking.
Yeah, I know those other players. Like that college sports must have gave them a fucking $1 billion to be like, hey, can we just get one year out of you guys?
Let's get one. Let's get paid for a year out of you, huh?
Yeah, you'll make money now. We're so charitable. Shout out to Charlie Baker, the head of the NCAA now.
That was the NHL.
No,
You sure?
yeah, Harry Bettman's still the chair. The
No, he went to the NHL Labor Association, I think.
No, that was the mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh.
Oh, sorry. One of the politicians of Boston. I get them mixed up sometimes. They-
I bet you couldn't pick either out of a lineup.
no, I think I know what one of them looks like.
Well, yeah, I mean, he just looks like a dude from like Southie, and that's Marty Walsh because he basically is. He was a pipe fitter for like his whole life.
None of them look as Bostonian as Menino did, though.
Nino looked like a goddamn alien. He talked like one too.
Menino looked like you could go in any like corner like sandwich shop and he'd be sitting there spouting off about the Celtics not playing the right way.
And Verita kicked it up through the uprights. Like, okay, dude.
He's all world, bro.
Jamaica playing. He is truly a Boston guy, though. A Boston Italian dude. Very fun.
Beautiful. We got KD came back the other day too.
Yep.
He's back. I didn't see any of that though. I heard he only played about 15, 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know why you're like playing him at all. I mean, what's their seed? I know the West is airtight.
They're not really getting any better seed. I think they're gonna end up with the 3 seed maybe. But I think it's more to get like familiar with playing with everybody because they haven't played together at all. So you want to get them some minutes on the court with the guys before you go.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, I know that he's a plug and play player basically because he fits into absolutely everything.
Yeah, the team has to play with him. It's not the other way around.
Yeah. Well, the team doesn't have to change. He plays with the team, I think. I think it's the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't play with a guy like Kevin Durant, it's your fault.
He's like, whatever shot you need him to make, okay. Like, all right, the left block is the shot that's going to be open. I can work my way over there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, spot up in the corner for 3 and distract everybody. Okay, cool.
I mean, I don't think anybody out of the West is a real threat.
We will see what they look like when they start playing together, but their bench is just
This
absolutely nothing.
They're so thin, dude. And Kevin Durant's played like less games with the Sun, as many games as I have with the Suns. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I mean, they're going to be really great offensively, but I mean, you have what 3 guys on the court at all times you can attack defensively.
mm.
Like you can attack Chris Paul every time down the court. You can attack Devin Booker every time down the court. You can attack DeAndre Ayton every time down the court.
You don't like DeAndre Ayton. I think he's their best defender.
I think he is soft as puppy shit.
You said that, but he beat the dog piss out of us.
How many teams
Bless
in the
you.
league have beat the dog piss out of us? We got beat by the Oklahoma City Thunder. You think they're going to come out of the West and beat us in the finals? Like,
Nah,
about 50?
no. Lujan Stort fucking giving Marcus Smart 48 minutes of hell. SGA averaging 35 points a game on Jalen.
Yeah, that's tough.
Um,
We're playing beautiful basketball right now. We're just throwing the ball around.
So right now, beginning of the second quarter, the Jazz are once again beating the Celtics 31-27.
Jalen waxes me.
Bad.
No, he's all right. Little bone bruise kind of thing almost.
I'm watching the play in anticipation. I'm nervous.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm like a full 2 minutes behind you. I just saw the turnover. And they just turned it over back.
You got the weird baseline camera angle.
Yeah, what the hell is this? What am I watching? I kind of don't hate it though.
Oh, I hate it so much. Can't see the whole play.
Yeah, true. You can't see it developing on the side on the left wing or the right wing, according to them.
I would like to see the starters regardless of the score, not play more than like 30, 35 minutes tonight.
Well, I mean, I tell you what, the Jazz are gonna fucking be pulling away like this. Might not be even a discussion.
THT has another big game.
Chris Dunn, the revenge of Chris Dunn.
Chris Dunn, who
Oh, what the hell is that? How is that not a foul? Holy shit.
I have no idea on that one. I hope we don't have another game where it comes down to last shot again, and you're just sitting here watching these, just be disappointed.
Hopefully, I see you fucking celebrate this time. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be. If it's that close, it's still a loss. Oh my god, what just happened to Chris Dunn? He crossed him into oblivion. An absolute wild minute and a half of basketball right there.
Yeah, I just fell into the shadow zone on that one. Or the shadow realm, whatever you want to call it. I love the mustache on Blake Griffin.
He's a good-looking guy. I don't know why he's going with that. I mean, I don't think there's much things he could do wrong with his face, but this feels like one.
No, I think it works for him. Some guys can get away with it. Some guys can't.
Most guys, I feel like, can't.
I need as much of a beard as possible to cover up this ugly mug.
I just shaved mine fucking down to I fucked up. I screwed it up. It's so tight to my chin now.
Hey, it looks good.
I fucked it up. Pissed me off.
I think that you look just like Joe Burrow.
True. Actually, no. He looks weird. He looks like Mr. Meaty.
He does look kind of odd. Like animal.
Got my insurance information is now on the podcast. I forgot I had that over here. Nice.
Can't see anything anyways. All I can see is the banner behind you. Or the banner report.
I got it right this time. I didn't screw up the intro.
I'm so proud.
Nailed it.
It's a low bar, and we still found a way to trip over it on the platform.
right on my face.
I just started laughing. I was like, no. I always wanted to not say anything and just keep going with the podcast for a couple minutes before I told you.
God, that would have been embarrassing.
Oh.
I took a bet tonight. LeBron James has to finish over 25 points.
No push?
No, I think
About 24 and a half?
No, I think it's 25. I think I can push at plus 100 odds, so that'd be a real fucking loss.
If you got plus 100 odds, you put like $10 on it, you win $1.
It was boosted odds, so bet 10 to win 20.
Plus 100 doubles your money?
Yes. Well,
I think that's a safe bet.
yes. He's playing the Timberwolves.
I think that's a very safe bet because who on the Timberwolves is any good at defense?
I mean, they have 3-time defensive player of the year.
Munchkin, LeBron James. Like if he's 3-time defensive player of the year at like the small forward, then yeah, I would say maybe you might have a hard time. But also, LeBron James knows they need to win tonight because if they win, they get the 7 seed. If they lose and the OKC wins, then they get bumped all the way down to the 10 seed.
Yeah, they go to double-digit seeds. That's how fucking nuts the West seeding is.
It's so close.
Why is Mike Muscala launching long-distance threes? I don't like that.
I love that. That's all I want to see from that boy.
It wasn't a catch and shoot. Was he dribbling up and he pulled up?
I don't care. Let that boy fly. Let him fly, bro. You're not going to get that many minutes. Let him fly. If you get hot, you might get the minutes in the playoffs.
Celtics are now winning 34-33. Tatum with the ball. Coming off of a spectacular, tremendous 40-point performance. I don't know how that wasn't a foul. Refs are swallowing their whistles. Grant Williams with the hustle play. Assist to Tatum with the jam. I don't like this crew. This crew fucking blows.
Tony Brothers is the worst.
Is it Tony Brothers? I didn't even know that.
He's the crew chief tonight, yeah.
Celtics absolutely are gonna, or the Jazz are absolutely covering.
Cover. I didn't even know that before the game, and now that he's on there, it's a lock.
Fuck, dude. Easy money.
Minus 1,000 for the Jazz to cover if Tony Brothers is cheating.
I might take the live, although the live's probably shittier now.
They said the live after the first was -5 for the Celtics.
-5 is not bad.
-5 for the Celtics to cover is not bad, but I would
No, no,
not.
no. -5. I mean, so +5 for the Jazz to cover is what I'm saying is not bad.
Well, I'm saying the Celtics could win by more than 5.
Yeah, I think they. I mean,
If it
they
was
could
like
still win by 10.
7
And
or
I'd
8, I
still
would
win.
take it. If it was 7 or 8, I would take the Jazz, I think.
Um, Let me look. Looking real quick. Yeah, it's still double digits. I'm taking the live bet. Jazz +10.5. You're seeing it live. Add it to my card.
There you go, baby. You want to announce those card numbers for us too?
No.
Maybe the numbers on the back.
No, no, no. Put it on my bet card, you jackass. You don't know anything about betting, bro. You're not a real
No, I am.
degenerate.
I am so glad that I don't. I do. I'm terrified to get into that. I blow through all my DraftKings money and shit like that, and underdog.
Why don't you? Did you sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook?
No, I had the remember the old DraftKings
Yeah.
where it was like pick a lineup like fantasy wise.
Yeah, it's daily fantasy.
I didn't have the sports book though. The
Why
sports book
get
just started.
get the sports book? Put in the promo. I'll give you my. We both get $100 for my sign up code. You get $200 worth of free bets.
But I will have no money after Monday when I get paid. Day I will be broke.
I suppose it's not a bad vice to not have. I mean, they cram it down your throat.
Yeah, it just became legal here, so they're every other ad on every platform is a DraftKings sportsbook ad, a FanDuel.
FanDuel.
There's a third one too that I can't remember.
Yeah, it's like one with KG. It's Caesar Sportsbook or whatever
MGM.
the hell. MGM and Caesar Sportsbook. That those two different ones, I suppose. But yeah, they cram it down your throat.
If you couldn't do it on your phone, I would like do it more often because I would just go over to the casino and do it once in a while. Actually, I
Oh,
have to the casino to go put the money down to do it. Like that would
put a
dissuade
restraint.
doing it all the time. But like if I put my card information into a phone, I would just be at work thinking all day like Lakers plus 12.5 against Nuggets. That would just
It got so bad to a point where I was betting during the pandemic. I was betting on Korean baseball and staying up till 4 in the morning.
I remember that.
Fucking dark
What did
times,
you
dude.
actually watch?
Huh? I watched like a week's worth of KBO.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, because we were up all night because we were playing Warzone.
Warzone. There was nothing else to fucking do. We were trapped in the house.
And we were our sleep schedule was so fucked that we was like, whatever. I like to stay up till 3 in the morning watching Korean baseball.
The Dynamos. They had some like crazy ass names.
Oh, I wouldn't even attempt to pronounce them, to be honest. What do you think about the Red Sox PA announcer trying to spice up the everybody on the starting lineup when they were announcing them?
What do you say? I think I was watching it, but I listened to it on. Well, I didn't listen to it. I guess is what I'm saying because it was on mute.
Yeah, I was listening on the radio. And it was like, oh, WBC world champion Yoshida,
Masataka Yoshida.
Masataka Yoshida, and they're talking about two-time Cy Young winner Corey Kluber. And it's like, and here for the next 10 decade is Rafael Devers. And he was just trying so hard to like pump up the crowd, and the crowd was just half.
Well,
he was still gonna be so bad.
I don't think they're going to be that bad. If their pitching can, get their shit together.
Opening day starter is supposed to be your best starter, right?
Yeah, but Chris Sale's he got pushed to Saturday tomorrow.
Yeah. So
Corey Kluber is not our best starter. It's still Chris Sale.
he's supposed to be our second best starter, then, right?
No, I would say it's what's his name, Whitlock. Whitlock, and then you got Brian Bello or Bayo, however you pronounce his name.
Brian Bayo.
And then you got Kluber is like the third starter on this team. He's better at the end of the rotation. You know, he's like a last guy, five guy. You know,
He did
4
not
5.
look very good.
He was very good for a very long time, and then we
I
got
remember
him when he
with
wasn't.
the Guardians before they were the Guardians.
Yes, Cleveland Indians. That's who we played for.
Oh my god, fucking Derek White is so good at basketball.
He also played on the Yankees last year, I think. Maybe,
You tell me, brother.
can't remember, but I mean, I think there's enough horses there to be. If they could just be mediocre, like average, I think we could. You know, I think if this team is really, if they play on the top level, they can eke into the playoffs. You
Yeah,
know,
I can see it. I don't know much about baseball, but
especially because the divisional games, the amount of divisional games you play, got like knocked down by like 15 or whatever. You know, like you don't have to play so many division games, which certainly helps because we play in the best division in the sport, in the AL East.
you know what the free throws are in this game right now? With 5 minutes left in the second.
There has to have been like what, 2 trips per team?
The Celtics are 11 for 11 from the line.
Oh, really? Holy shit! We went to a line a lot.
Yeah, and the Utah Jazz have not taken one yet.
Damn! What the hell?
And somehow you were up by 3 points because you were just giving up every offensive rebound because Luke Cornett is bad at basketball.
I want to see what Walker Kessler's stat line is at half.
Phenomenal. He's gonna have about a dozen.
He's gonna hit that.
He's gonna hit that easy.
He's just cleaning the glass.
THT is so nice.
On the last time we talked about him, I said he's like 21. He just turned 20. He's wicked young.
That guy just turned 20. I'm looking at him right now. Tell me that man just turned 20.
Yeah.
He has not been carded at a Packy since 2010.
Well, yeah, it's because he lives in Utah and it's a dry state.
How about even before that? Wherever he lived before that, like he was probably 12 walking into a liquor store, balding, talking about, hey, let me get a fifth.
Yeah, his hairline blows.
He looks like 40.
That's fucking brutal.
He plays like he's
Definitely.
42, but like in a good way. All right. Take Marcus Smart out of the game.
Walker Kessler has 14 points plus rebounds already, so he has to get 10 more. I can't place a live bet on him, so that's sick.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to do that. Let's get
Yeah.
game, huh?
What happened?
He just banged knees with somebody.
Marcus? Oh, yeah, Walker Kessler ran into him. Nah, he's fine. He's just fucking being a drama queen.
I mean, if I heard enough for him to do that, then I really don't want him playing. I really wouldn't care if we just sat every one of our stars for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to sit him.
At this point,
I think he should sit. You're right. Yeah, he is holding it. I don't care even if he is. Just clang knees with him.
yeah, he bangs shins. Like all it takes is like stepping on somebody's foot in the fucking useless game of March against the Jazz.
Peyton Pritchard time, folks. Put him in.
Walker Kessler, 11 points and 6 rebounds right now.
Yeah, he's gonna give Bunkero some serious run for his money.
He is not. Been over
No, but he is coming for second place.
sick. They give him trouble.
Oh, I tell you what, getting your shit swatted into the third row by Luke Cornett is not a great look.
That's fucking terrible. Look, damn, you got blocked by that fucking guy. I'm quicker off my feet than fucking Luke Cornett, and I weigh the same as him.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're about a foot smaller than him.
That's the problem. Oh, the clinic.
God damn, Brogdon's just chucking. He's not hitting shit.
Oh, let him get in a rhythm. That's what these last few games should be for. Let the fucking bench guys get some confidence.
Derek White.
That's in this game. Like I said, 30, maybe 35.
I mean, I think this is it's a pretty important game. I don't think you can lose this one. Like you can't really afford to sacrifice it if you want the one seed.
Like I said, the one seeds, I don't really have that much need for it. Like after what you saw in Milwaukee,
I would still like to have it.
yeah, I mean, I'm not willing to give up health going into the playoffs for it.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, you can't like bank on an injury happening. That's a loser mentality.
You can't bank on the Bucks losing any of their last games either. Their schedule's pretty tit.
Oh, it isn't. It's tough. Their schedule is like almost identical. It's their schedule is incredibly hard.
That'll be hard.
Yes. So for instance, I was going to save this until the end, but the Celtics remaining games at Philadelphia, Wednesday, Raptors come here. Friday, the Raptors are here. Sunday, we play the Hawks, and that's it.
Yeah, we have 4 of our last 5 games at home.
Well, this one's at home.
This one and 3 of the next 4 are going to be at home.
Both the Raptors games and the Hawks game.
So that should be 3 wins.
And the Bucks, their schedule is 76ers at the Bucks. Then they're at Washington. Then the Bulls roll into town. Then the Grizzlies roll into town. And then the Raptors, they're at the Raptors.
So Sixers is going to be a tough game because Sixers are probably going to play that game just to try and see where they stack up with the Bucks. Got the Wizards, who are out of the playoffs at this point, and
Who just beat us by double digits.
I mean, that's the Celtics. We just decided we don't want to play. We got bored and don't want to play.
I mean, maybe that's just a team you can't sleep on. So maybe I think it's going to be just as hard for the Bucks to play against them.
See what the Bucks do to bad teams. They don't do what we do. They actually beat bad teams. So they're going to win that team too. And then you got, what do you say after that? The Grizzlies?
The Bulls.
The Bulls are going to be out of the playoff contention at that point.
They're surging. They're about to secure their seat in the play-in.
All right.
They're fighting for their playoff lives.
Do you think the Bulls are going to beat the Bucks at that point if the Bucks want the 1 seed that bad?
I think it's a bad matchup for them. Andre Drummond and all that scoring.
35-year-old Andre Drummond.
Doesn't he give Joel Embiid the business like every time they play?
Talking about the Bucks, not the.
Yeah, damn it.
He's going to be covering Brooke Lopez, who doesn't care, and they're just going to give the ball to Giannis, and he's going to put Andre Drummond through the rim.
I think that Bulls game's going to be a lot. They should win. They should win all of these games.
Yeah,
but
they're going to all of these guys. The Grizzlies aren't going to play anybody because they're not going to be able to advance anywhere in the seeding at that point in the year.
They could lose their seeding, and I don't think they're bad. They're still a really good team. They're the second best team in the West.
Don't see the Bucks losing any of those games, and the Celtics easily could run off the rest of these games too, but that doesn't win you anything.
I think
to have an extra couple of days rest going into the playoffs, make sure everybody's 100% for the playoffs and getting the 1 seed. But also, the only person that has home court advantage above you right now in the East is the Bucks.
Yes,
and you wouldn't face them until the Eastern Conference Finals.
I think the Celtics.
Bucks also have to win 2 series to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you never know with injuries or anything like that. Who knows? Somebody could tweak an ankle, and all of a sudden the Bucks are fallible.
The Bucks are already fallible. We just beat them full health
against us, yeah. But I mean, against like somebody else, like you never know. They might not even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. You'd be playing a seed lower than you in the Eastern Conference Finals. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot on a series that's going to happen in like 3 months.
I don't think you fold. Yeah, they could also be saying the same thing against us. Like, hey, if Jaylen Brown doesn't play that game, we're in it, and we probably beat them. They could say the same thing. What's reverse is fair play.
Yeah, I mean, but like that's lucky. I just don't see them in absolutely forcing it, trying to get this 1 seed at this point. Doesn't seem like it's worth it to me.
I mean, as you say that, it's a 5-point game, and all the starters are still playing, including Marcus Smart. So somebody disagrees with you.
That's life. People disagree with you, and I don't coach the team. Joseph Mazzulla coaches the team.
He's only 6 years, 7 years older than us.
34, I think. So 6.
6, yeah.
Young boy.
Very.
How worried are you about his coaching in the playoffs?
Very.
You're pretty worried about it.
I would say he's not been a great coach all year.
But
He's been a fine coach.
maybe he's pulling punches. You ever
You
think
think
that
a 34-year-old rookie head coach has the ability to pull punches?
the way this team started the year, yeah. If
No.
his team started the year like 500 and like was struggling, then he'd be pulling out every stop to try and do stuff. But like we had the Valentine's Day game against the Bucks where we just didn't play anybody. There was no reason to not play anybody. Everybody was healthy. It wasn't like a back to back All Star
Well, didn't
weekend.
Jalen Brown just get his face smashed in? Wasn't it
That
before
might have
that?
been it. That might have been right around then. But like, there's no reason to sit Tatum. I think Brown was still playing with the mask at that point. He was cleared to play. They didn't play Rob or Al that game. I don't think either. Like there was no reason. To
So,
sit.
so the Celtics losses only happened because Joe Mazzulla's pulling punches and is strategic.
I think that one might have been. I think
Well,
that
guess what? It's still not a good coaching maneuver because you had to win that one for the 1 seed. You
one.
fuck.
Hey, would have been nice. It also would have been nice to beat the Magic. Those 3 losses against them.
Oh, so was that good coaching? You lost to a team that's fucking the
Oh, you
Pembroke High
guys-
School team.
I think that was the players more than coaching. To be honest,
It's always the players. Like the coach can draw you up on the nice plays all you want, but if you're getting, if you're playing below your level, then yeah, of course.
I just think the players don't give a shit about teams that are below them.
But that's where the coach has to come in and be like, smarten the fuck up. Like Ime Udoka would tell you to would call them assholes to their face last
He
year.
may have the background to do it. He played in the league and he was an assistant coach under Popovich. Like Missoula has never had a head coaching job other than this.
I hear you, but that's not that's fine.
That's not
But
his way of coaching. So
but that's all. If I'm judging you as a coach and you don't have that ability to pull that card and talk to the players on their level,
yeah,
I mean that goes against you.
but I mean, there's other coaches in the league that never played that are still fine coaches. Popovich never played in the league.
Also, I never really bought that Bill Belichick's the greatest coach of all time, and he never played football.
Yeah, you can do it if you're that good, but you also have to have a resume before you can do it. Like Bill Belichick didn't come in the first day as a head coach talking the way he talks to the players now, I'm sure.
No, he was a coach forever. He was like a special
but
teams coach with the Browns, and he was D coordinator with the Giants.
Like, he was long in the tooth before he started talking to guys like that. Like you can't just come in and do that unless you have the background of being in the league and knowing what they're going through. And you may have.
All I'm hearing is that these are all just negatives about Coach Missoula. These are not positive aspects of him.
Hey, I'm not over here saying that I'm like 100% behind him in the playoffs. I don't think he's going to be the greatest coach in the playoffs. Like he's going to have his problems with some of these coaches. Like we're going to have the Heat first round probably, and that's going to be a big test for him because Spoelstra's a phenomenal coach.
He's the best coach in the league besides Pop.
But we might be able to get away with it because of just the skill difference. Like the Heat just don't have the horses anymore that hang with everybody. They don't hit threes like at all. That's the league now.
I'd be worried because I feel like the Heat are just tough. They could
Jimmy Butler's a gamer.
Yeah, like they could take your knees out. You probably you know I would, but barring a miracle, you beat them. You don't beat them, or no, barring a miracle on the Heat side, you beat them. But I feel like they could Marcus Smart twists his ankles out for the next 2 weeks, and Jalen Brown gets his nose smashed in. Like it's gonna be a tough series.
Something.
You know Kyle Lowry's gonna undercut somebody.
Fucking Kyle Lowry. I hate Kyle Lowry. On the list.
He is a Marcus Smart-esque player, shall I say?
Don't league on that one.
Yeah, I think Marcus Smart's. I don't think Marcus Smart's a dirty player. I don't get this.
No. He's physical. He definitely runs that line, and that's why other teams are going to say that he's a dirty player.
Yeah, but when you compare it to a guy like Chris Paul and Kyle Lowry, who every game is stepping under somebody's jump shot.
Now we're on the Chris Paul's a dirty player bandwagon. Okay.
I think he's earned a reputation as a weasel, like a weaselly player.
My tentacles are getting in your brain with this Chris Paul shit, huh?
I think Kyle Lowry is a dirty player.
Yeah, they both like to walk up underneath people when they shoot jumpers and hit people when they're in the air for no reason. Like, it's nasty business, really. And the most frustrating part about it is that they're both good enough players. They don't need to be doing that shit.
I mean, yeah, both. I mean, arguably, I think Kyle Lowry's a Hall of Famer. Chris Paul is certainly a Hall of Famer.
Football first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's
Like,
he's
you watch some of the things he does with the ball. It's like it's a wizard. He can orchestrate an offense from any part of the floor. Like he's efficient. He's been a great player his whole career, but then he just has to go around here just doing dirty stuff. Like
he is undersized. He's undersized.
you want to root for the guy, and he just does like this, like pushing Giannis out of the air in the finals a couple years ago. Like could have really hurt if Giannis isn't an absolute freak and actually grabs the rim on that one. Like he might not ever play basketball again.
Yeah, Andrew Bogut conveniently when he was playing for the Bucks 100 years ago. You remember that? I think he was going up for he got like a steal, and this was when he was young, and he was going up for a two-handed jam. And I think Amari Stoudemire was running up behind him. He was on the Sun. Amari Stoudemire was on the Suns, so that's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
Came up and like undercut his legs, and he swung off the rim and snapped his arm on the way down. You remember that? Oh,
Absolutely nasty.
fucking horrible.
That can happen when you're being reckless and dirty.
Mm.
I would put that as reckless on Amari because I don't think Amari had that reputation as a dirty player.
It's a bad play. I don't know what he was doing. Andrew Bogut was. He didn't even jump.
That's a dumb play. But that's like remember last year when Giannis went to block Tatum and took him out in the playoffs. And that's a reckless play, but Giannis has a play on the ball, and I wouldn't call that a dirty play. I call it a reckless play.
Well, listen, I think if Tatum snapped his leg coming down like that, I think we'd look at that and be like, Giannis with the dirtiest play of the year. I just think he got away with it.
I would still think it's a reckless play. He's still trying to make a play on the ball, and he thought he could get there. Like, it's Giannis. Like, if Giannis actually got to that and got a clean block on that, I'd be like, yeah, that's something that Giannis would do.
It happened to Derek White not that long ago. He was going over like a two-handed slam, and somebody undercut him, went flying because he's a little guy, and he like, I don't know, he landed in like a split. I'm surprised he didn't like snap his femur and ACL and shit, but he was fine.
Radar, a real tough guy over there. He never really gets hurt.
No, he never misses games. Knock on wood. Jesus, he's gonna be big for this playoff run too. But
You know, a fun stat.
well, yeah, let me hear it.
If Mikal Bridges plays the rest of the year for the Nets and plays every game like he always does,
Oh, I know where you're going.
play 83 games this year. Not 82, he played 83 games this year.
Oh shit, that's not where I thought you were going. 83 games. Because he played like.
Played with the Nets, then they ended up playing one extra game more than the Suns when he got traded. Or no, he played for the Suns and they got traded to the Nets. So they'll end up playing 83 instead of 82.
How the fuck does that work? Still don't get it.
Because the Suns had played one more game. The Suns had played 53 games or something like that at that point, and the Nets had only played 52.
Oh.
He got traded over there. There's still an extra game to be played for the Nets to catch up with the Suns.
Mm.
And he plays every fucking game because he's just a gamer like that.
Yeah, he's already played more games than Irving and Kevin Durant Nets.
Yeah,
Together?
All the guys that got in the trade have already played more than Irving. I think Kyrie, Kevin, and
Harden.
play together.
Yikes! A dynasty that was a dynasty that never was.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the Ben Simmons version of it in the playoffs, and we just swept them.
Yeah. I was talking with Domingos earlier, being like, man, last year was such a hard finals, like, 2 games, sevens with like brutal series against the Bucks and the Heat. I'm like, yeah, and the first series was supposed to be the hardest one. People were going into that saying the Nets are going to beat us, even though they were like the 7th seed.
Yeah, because they were doing injuries and shit like that all year.
They were the 7th seed, and people like Irving and Durant on the other end, they're gonna run the Celtics out of the building.
Yeah, they're gonna score 150 a game, shit like that. Yeah, I remember that.
And it ended up being the easiest one, but it wasn't supposed to be.
After that first game, we really figured him out. Like that first game, Kyrie went off like 50.
Oh, he wanted us, dude. He almost had it.
He did, man. They had that game winner at the buzzer.
Imagine what the sliding doors moment of that, like if he hits that and Tatum doesn't get the game winner, do the Nets win that series?
I still don't think they do. I still don't think they do.
Yeah, I don't think. I think the Celtics were a team possessed.
I don't know if we make the finals though, because I think that we probably lose to the Heat. I think if that first series goes an extra game or two, then I don't think we have the legs to beat the Heat.
Yeah, that Heat series was brutal. And now guess what? We're gonna start against them in the playoffs this year.
This year
So.
we're even better than last year. We have a bench this year too.
And they're way worse.
Yeah, they've gotten worse. They got Kevin Love though.
Yeah, it's a savvy move. That's like a savvy get an old guy move, who could help you.
Shout out Kevin Love getting the bag too. He took
28 million
buyout.
this year.
He took a buyout from the Cavs, and they paid him all but like $3 million, something like that. No, they paid him all but $1.5 million, and he signed for $3 million with the Heat. So he got a $1.5 million bonus
Not
to
bad.
leave the Cavs to go to a team that's not gonna do anything in the playoffs.
Neither of the Cavs, though, in his defense.
The Cavs might do something in the playoffs.
Nah, I don't know, man. They're not that good yet.
Don't they have the Knicks in the first round?
Yeah, it's gonna be a bloodbath. I hope they kill each other.
Yeah, but I still think they're gonna beat the Knicks.
I hope they do. I don't want to play the Knicks.
Do you want to rather play the Knicks or the Cavs?
I'd rather play.
I'd rather play the Knicks.
Well, yeah, I mean, Julius Randle's out for 2 weeks, so I
He'll
want
be
to play the Knicks. Huh?
He'll be back to the playoffs. But that's
Yeah, but he's still gonna be.
Even if they're healthy, I'd still rather play the Knicks.
Yeah.
Double
Dude, they were
big.
so hot there for a minute. I don't know.
Double bigs for the Cavs were even more than the Knicks do.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe this is recency bias, but when we played the Knicks, it wasn't a particularly close game, and they beat us. When we played the Cavs, they beat us, but it was because Grant Williams shit his pants at the line. He couldn't hit his free throws.
To the Cavs this year, and we had one that we beat them in regulation.
Huh?
We had two overtime losses against the Cavs, and we had one that we beat them in regulation.
2 overtime. Yeah, and what did we lose both games to the Knicks? One in overtime, and one they beat the crap out of us, right?
Times a year because they're in our division.
Yeah, they're in the Atlantic. Yeah.
I don't know what the record was going to. I don't remember those games, to be honest. It's a Knicks game. I wasn't getting all excited for it.
Julius Randle, for some reason, likes to beat our fucking brains, and I hate it.
Julius Randle's been playing great, to be honest. He's having a great season.
Had a huge bounce back year. Last year, he was talking about leave. Like he was like tweeting how he hated or he wanted out of New York. Like,
But New York does it every year. Mitchell Robs every year complains about not getting the ball enough.
well, he should. He's a fucking offensive liability. I mean, no, he shouldn't. He shouldn't. He's an offensive liability.
You make the NBA, you're going to complain about not getting the ball. Especially when you're playing that many minutes.
Yeah, it's like, hey, buddy, just focus on hitting your free throws. Like,
Roll hard, but I mean, in his defense, he rolls hard, but your ball handlers are RJ Barrett and Jalen Brunson. You're probably not getting the ball.
Jalen Brunson is one of the best point guards in the league.
Scoring. Yeah, he's
Jalen-
a better than an assist man, though.
He's a better what?
Better scorer than a playmaker, though. He's going to look to get his bucket before he looks to get you yours.
But so is Dame Lillard.
Yeah, exactly. If Mr. Robinson played on Portland, I bet you complain about not getting the ball, too.
Portland could probably use him.
Granted, if Damian Lillard's not passing you the ball, then it's probably a good thing he's not passing the ball because it's Damian Lillard.
He's taking it to the fucking rack himself.
Dude,
Man, I love Damian Lillard. He's just really a player I'd like to watch from afar. Yeah,
He'd be nice on the Celtics, too.
he would. What could have been
About it.
last week? Yeah,
Jalen for him.
yeah. That's aging like milk. Because Damian's out for the year. They're sitting him for the rest of the year. And Jaylen Brown's maybe been the best player in the Celtics for the last half of the season. So,
Yeah,
no, I don't think there's a maybe. He has been.
yeah. I mean, he
But
definitely.
everything else we said was true.
Yeah, I mean, plus, if we find out that he just doesn't want to be here after next year, then I would do that trade.
Yeah, and apparently Damian Lillard doesn't want to be here either because the only place he wants to be is fucking Portland for whatever reason.
You put the ball in Portland's court and say, "Hey, you want JB or you want
Yeah.
Dame Lillard?"
Yeah. Um,
Bucks had to come down to that too.
what's homie's name that we are just talking about on the point guard for the Knicks?
Bronson
Oh, yeah. Just want to do a quick stat check on him.
probably averaging like 6, 7 assists a game. I think.
That's right. Six. 24, 4, and 6. That is your third All NBA point guard. Jalen
You guys get
Brunson.
the third team
I think so.
guards.
Well, it ain't. Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if you make it third team though.
Who's better than him? Don't. No, that's bad. That's bad. Because obviously there's a lot of guards better than him.
No, we're gonna make it though because of injury.
And it's going to come down to like amount of games played. Kyrie's not going to have enough.
No, is Luca a guard or a forward?
Devin Booker's not going to have enough. Luka is a guard.
Thanks.
Huh?
Devin Booker missed that many games this year.
Yeah, missed like the first 39 games of the year.
Oh, did he miss that many? Sure, was D-Book missed that
Let
many?
me stat check him.
You know more than I do. I'm not a Suns fan. We got one Suns fan.
He's played 49 games. So yeah, he's missed 30 easily, well over 30 games.
I soft as puppy shit. You know, our one avid Suns fan, our one avid listener who's a Suns fan, can hear me say that they are soft as puppy shit.
I don't think we have one. We're averaging pretty good numbies on the YouTube. Shout out to you, our faithful listeners.
Yeah, I whore this fucking podcast out like a motherfucker. I have no idea when that shit drops, it fucking goes out to about 12 fucking people every time.
It's 57-51 here. Celtics leading the Jazz at halftime. We're about to tip probably for the second half right now.
5 seconds, yeah.
A lot closer than you'd want.
I did not shoot a free throw in the first half, and they're down by 6. So, not
I
great.
wanted to talk to you about something, and it ties into a lot of what we've talked about in the themes. And it's funny to talk about things that have happened since the year 2006 that still matter today in 2023. But LaMarcus Aldridge announced his retirement this morning. I think he retires again. 37-year-old power forward. He retired originally because of a heart issue, and he came back for the Nets. Obviously, we know how that went.
The Nets just were kind of shit. So,
Yeah, he never really got a fair shot on his second go around with the net, or on the second go around in the league with the Nets. But LaMarcus Aldridge? Thoughts on him as a player?
I used to love LaMarcus Aldridge on the Trailblazers. I love that like back to the basket, take your time, just shoot over a guy, make you move, play through the post, suck the defense in, score. I thought he was a great player. To be
Me
honest,
too. Play with Damian Lillard.
bucket,
Where it's kind of a 1-2 punch with him,
yeah, and that just
right? Is that right?
They played with Dame. Yeah. Very extremely consistent. Like every night, you knew what you're going to get from that guy. There weren't a lot of, shitter nights.
Yeah.
And he was a guy that you could base your offense around if Dame happened to miss a game. You could still run your offense straight through him, and then everybody else can work off of that. You still had CJ out there too.
Just that's a hell of a team there. LaMarcus Aldridge, Dame Lillard, and CJ McCollum there. It's crazy they didn't do anything, and they're all gone now besides Dame. Yeah, I agree. If I had to describe LaMarcus Aldridge, he's just one of the most solid players of all time. Kind of came along right at the right time as a stretch big.
Yeah.
Right when I was kicking. He's what do you think his chances are of the Hall?
I would have to look at his. I don't know what his career achievements are. I don't think that he ever made he made a couple All NBA teams. I think
Never won a ring, obviously.
two All Stars. His career averages is about 28-4, 28.
Holy shit, that's actually impressive that you got that close. He's 19, 8 and 2.
I figure somewhere around there because I mean your numbers are always going to drop when you start playing late into your 30s like that, and you're playing for the Nets and you get 15 minutes a game as the fifth option on the floor. Your numbers are going to drop. But
2006 All Rookie, 5-time All NBA, 7-time All Star. I don't think he's making the Hall.
5-time All NBA is surprising.
He's
Not
one of
that
the
he
best power forwards in the league.
great. I mean, look at. I guess you could have got third team. That's not first team All NBA.
Doesn't tell me what teams he got exactly.
I mean, I don't think he's getting first teams. He's playing at the same time as Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett, and
I think he could have got one
he might have got one after
at the end of those guys.
But I mean, even then, like Garnett's last seasons where he wasn't first team was like 2008.
Like Kevin Durant, who was the best power forward in the league in 2014? Kevin Durant is an obvious answer, right? But like it was before Giannis, before anybody else.
Yeah,
He could have slotted in there in one of those years. I just can't remember. I'll have to do more
Blake
research.
Griffin at that point.
Blake Griffin, yeah, he was one of the best power forwards in the league, but
Chris Paul merchant, Blake Griffin.
couldn't quite shoot. So maybe
Wasn't
not.
a shooter yet, but he was doing wild shit on dunking on people though.
Yeah, he was.
He was the second coming of the human highlight reel.
Um,
I don't think he makes the Hall though with those numbers. I mean, you got 5 All NBAs, probably only 1 or 2 first teams, 7 All Stars. You didn't know Rookie of the Years, no MVPs, no championships. I mean, he probably is the second or third highest scorer in Blazers history, but that doesn't get
you think so?
I mean, I think Dame's probably 1.
Gerald Wallace,
Clyde Drexler's probably 2.
Clyde Drexler, yeah.
Played there for a little while too.
Scottie Pippen.
He didn't play that for long enough, I don't think. But if he
yeah.
was up there in like the top 10, I wouldn't be surprised because it's not like there hasn't been a huge amount of Hall of Fame talent going through Portland, unfortunately.
So it's really interesting you bring that up, and like I said, it all ties together. 2006 is like a weird kind of crossroads map of the NBA history that, like I said, sort of leads into today. But since we're on the Portland Trailblazers, Brandon Roy was taken in that draft. But yeah, so LaMarcus Aldridge was the second overall pick in the 2006 draft. Can you tell me who was the first overall pick in that 2006 draft?
Like Kevin Martin
No,
for the Timberwolves.
no.
6. Wasn't Amari, was it?
The Knicks had the first overall pick.
Like Tyson Chandler.
No, you're never gonna get him.
Maybe that flame out.
Yeah, he was all right for a bit. European.
It's always a European that's a flame out number. No American has ever been drafted number 1 or not been a Hall of Famer. Come on.
What is Anthony Randolph? Hello.
Adam Morrison.
No, but he was taken in that draft. He was taken third. Andrea Bargnani.
Oh, I wasn't done guessing. I didn't know. I thought Andrew Morrison was the number 1 overall pick for somebody.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. No, who the hell was I thinking of?
I think Andrew Morrison got drafted like above somebody, like above like Carmelo or something like that.
1 second here, folks. 1 second. 2006 NBA draft. Adam Morrison was the third overall pick.
What do you know, the Timberwolves?
He went to Charlotte
Bobcats.
Bobcats.
That makes sense. Yep.
Rudy Gay, current Utah Jazz, he was taken 8th overall in that draft. Your Boston Celtics, do you know who the Boston Celtics took in that draft at 7 overall?
Gerald Green.
No.
7 in 2006.
Yep. We were bad. This was like the dark ages for the Celtics.
This was Al Jeff,
Nope.
not Perk. It
Nope.
wasn't Rondo. Rondo was like 13. But
Rondo was drafted by the Phoenix Suns, but he was taken the 21st pick by the Phoenix Suns in the 2006 draft, traded obviously to the Celtics. So I'm counting that as a Celtics pick because he never played. He started his career with the Celtics.
it was one of those ones where like Luka was drafted by the Hawks. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you said number 7 in 2006.
Yeah. Right before Rudy Gay, who by the way is a much better player.
Yeah, this guy was another flameout, wasn't
Yeah, but truthfully, he is like one of the key pieces in what led to the Celtics getting a championship.
he? One of the trade pieces for Garnett.
Yep.
Oh, tell me it was because I just heard them telling me the 5 people that got traded for Garnett like a couple days ago.
Randy Foy.
I was not coming up with Randy Foy. I never played a minute of basketball in my life.
So Boston got Randy Foy and Rajon Rondo out of that draft. Not bad, considering Randy Foy got you Kevin Garnett and Rajon Rondo was one of the best players, point guards in Celtics history. PJ Tucker was taken as the 35th overall pick by Toronto that year. So you're going to be seeing him a lot more in the 76ers.
Second round pick, number 35 in the draft in 2006 is still in the league.
Yeah, he's old. Well, Rudy Gay's still in the league. He was 8th overall.
Yeah, but he was 8th overall. So like he was a high skill guy. Like a 30
Yeah.
overall pick is not supposed to be in the league 17 years later.
Yeah, well, yeah, I hear
How
you.
many second round picks have ever had a 17-year career? There can't be that many of them.
Seriously. It is quite a testament to PJ Tucker's career skll set.
The grind that he puts in every night too.
Yeah.
He's changed himself a lot over the years.
Still not the best power forward to be taken, or one not the only good power forward to be taken in that draft. Paul Millsap was drafted at 47 overall.
He had a long career too.
Yeah, he just retired like not that long ago.
Not quite.
Maybe last year.
He's a much bigger body, so it's kind of hard for them to stay around as long.
So there was Kyle Lowry was taken 29th, LaMarcus Aldridge was taken 2nd, Paul Millsap was 47, Rajon Rondo 21, and Brandon Roy was taken 6th overall. Who's the best player from that draft?
The Blazers.
No, out of those names.
Well, I mean, Brandon Roy got drafted to the Blazers, right?
Oh yeah, yes, right. That's why I was saying we were talking about the Blazers, talking about the greatest Blazers of all time, greatest scorers. Brandon Roy.
He would have been the best. He probably would have been the best Blazer to ever play if he stayed healthy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Brandon Roy. I say that to say this: Brandon Roy is definitely probably the best player out of that draft. Obviously, his knees just gave out on him. Rajon Rondo, I feel like, is the best player from that draft in terms of accomplishments and career. Kyle Lowry has a good debate, and so does Aldridge and Millsap.
Well,
Huh?
we can debate a wall.
Well, who would you rather have out of all that?
I have LaMarcus Aldridge before Kyle Lowry.
You think so?
Put LaMarcus Aldridge on the Raptors with DeMar DeRozan.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like
Also, Kyle Lowry didn't get a title until they got Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, but come on, dude. That's how Rajon Rondo never got a title until they got Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen.
It was the fact that was like his second year in the league, so it's not like he had much of a chance of doing it before then.
I just don't like that. The argument's terrible. Nobody's ever won alone. So, like,
Yeah, all right.
in the modern NBA.
I would still prefer LaMarcus Aldridge over Kyle Lowry. But
Okay,
that's
explain.
more consistent. I mean, his whole career.
Kyle Lowry's still in the league.
What's Kyle Lowry doing in the league right now? Because it's not much. He did about
Kyle Lowry's
Marcus Aldridge did.
Kyle Lowry's career number is probably going to be like 18, 3, and 7.
Which is like 16, like 3 and 7.
No, I looked it up. I had this debate with. It's roughly the same as Marcus Smart. I looked this up not too long ago. People sleep on Kyle Lowry. He was like one of the best point guards in the league for a decent amount of time. They call him the GOAT, which is funny. He's a six-time All-Star, 2019 NBA champ, 2015-16 All-NBA. I wasn't even close. He's 15-4-6
Yeah, so I was
career.
than you on that one. So yeah, would you rather 15-4-6, or would you rather have 19-3-7 or something like
Well, I
that?
tell you what, I'd rather have a championship, and he was the second best player on that team.
Once again, you had Leonard, who's a much better player than anybody that Lamarcus Aldridge ever played with.
He played with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum.
That Kawhi Leonard is much better than Damian Lillard, especially in the years that Lamarcus Aldridge was playing with Damian Lillard, young in his career.
We just talked last week how Damian Lillard is going to be one of the best players of all time and never win a championship. Probably the best player of all time.
Kawhi Leonard won a championship.
He's won multiple, but
Exactly.
okay, like
I mean, you have a defensive player of the year who can also get you 27 a game efficiently.
yeah, but he's just never healthy.
Dame will get you 28 a game inefficiently a lot of times and not be as a good defender.
They just never really built around Damian that much.
I mean, they did. They got Lamarcus Aldridge and CJ McCollum.
They had Lamarcus. They got him CJ McCollum.
And then they got rid of all those people.
Yeah, which is the issue. I mean, Lillard's still balling the fuck out. Like I don't know. Like Lillard is. He had multiple 50-point games this year. Kawhi Leonard played like 30 games this year.
He had a 70-point game this year.
On top of multiple 50-point games. Like Damian Lillard is balling like he's just he's a symptom of that. So listen, I get what you're saying. Kawhi Leonard's skill set is amazing. He's a athletic, lanky, freakishly long arms, all-time defensive player. Could shoot the daylights out of the ball. One of the best mid-range options. Like, and generally, my thing is like the taller player. If there's everything's equal, the taller player, I'll take him in 10 times out of 10 times. I don't know, man. Damian Lillard's like maybe the best offensive point guard like of all time. Like besides James Harden when he won his MVP.
Probably going like third, fourth.
He's the best defensive. He's the best offensive point guard in the league right now.
Yeah, right now just because of injuries and everything like that. But you're talking about a fully healthy Dame and a fully healthy Steph Curry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine.
Like Steph Curry is just that three ball is just unstoppable. They can do
Yeah, but also Steph Curry's surrounding cast is so much better than Damian's.
If you put Damian Lillard on the Warriors, I don't think that's that much different. I don't think that the outcome of anything is that much different. I think they still have the same amount of titles.
Yeah.
I think that they do just as well, but it would just look a lot different because Steph is so much better off the ball than Damian Lillard is. Damian never really had to play off the ball.
Yeah, Steph's freakishly good off ball for
That's how he got all his buckets at Davidson.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's like always moving. Cannot lose sight of him for a second. It's death. It's instant death. Your eyes move off of him for a minute. He's moving into the corner. He's
gave up 3 points as soon as you stop looking at him.
Yeah, it's like instant death for you on your team.
And like the crazy thing is like, all right, he looks normal, but the dude fucking like deadlifts like 405.
Yeah, no, he's a peak athlete. He's just skinny. He's not like LeBron. LeBron has people fooled.
Guy. Like if you saw that dude at fucking Chipotle with like a hoodie on and some sweats, and you didn't know it was Steph Curry, you'd be like, oh, that dude just got out of the gym or whatever, just working out or whatever. And then like later on in the day, you're watching ESPN, you're watching the dude drop 45 on like 17 shots. Like,
yeah,
wild shit. The guy's unbelievably efficient, which is you're not supposed to be efficient when you're a 3-point shooter like that.
No, and that's why he's like the best point guard of all time, or arguably.
I would probably say he's the best.
I look at it like changing the game. Magic Johnson changed the game for point guards, being like a guy who's 6'6" and is 235 pounds is a point guard.
Game for point guards again as hey, you can go shoot from wherever the hell you want.
Like he's changed the face of both those guys changed what the NBA is like.
Magic was.
You don't even have Magic in your top 10, so I don't want to hear it.
I thought my list sucked. They changed every 5 minutes. So I'm like, all right, wait a minute. I forgot about Clyde Drexler. Like, but Magic was like the predecessor to like LeBron, like Clyde Drexler, Magic, Scottie Pippen. Those guys were before LeBron. We're gonna have a whole set of guys coming up. They're gonna start playing like Steph. Start playing like Luca.
I I don't know if we're gonna have many guys who can play like Steph. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I feel like a lot of guys are gonna try and be like Luca, who's not wholly undifferent from Steph, but he's much more of a he can get his shot inside as well, and is looking to dish the rock a lot, maybe to a fault at times.
Yeah.
Trey Young's probably the closest thing we got to Steph right now, and things are not going well for him in Atlanta.
Well, I mean, that's a little different though too. That's a little Trey Young problem. More than
Yeah, but I
not as
mean,
much as the
Steph,
way he plays is more in like the way he is.
Trey Young's a bit of a defensive liability too. Steph for kind of
Gotten
being a
better.
similar player, he wasn't really much of a defensive liability. He could play tough defense. I mean, he fucking blocked the shit out of us out of or playing against them this year. Remember, he saved the game by stuffing somebody, maybe Tatum at the rim or Grant, somebody big. Yeah, and it went to overtime, but we ended up winning. But he stuffed the shit out of him at the rim. Like he made a game-saving block.
I mean, Steph has gotten a lot better defensively over the years for sure. But when he
Steph?
first came to the league, he was bad.
Yeah, he's small. And it takes time to get better and bulk up. And I feel like he did that very well. I don't know if Trey Young is ever going to do that because now we're getting to the point where he's 5 years in the league and not much has changed, and the Hawks are talking about moving on
Very
from him.
inefficient too. That's the big problem with Trey. He's not efficient.
Yeah. Yeah.
Malcolm
I feel
Brogdon-
like Steph is like a unicorn player. That's why. But everybody tries to be like him, like where the three ball is crazy prevalent. But
Yeah.
nobody's ever going to be like him.
Oh, because there's only one him.
Yeah. It's like something like Michael Jordan. Like, who's the guy who could beat Michael Jordan? Well, he played with him, Scottie Pippen. Klay Thompson probably could have been like him, sort of. He was. I mean, he's like plays very similar to him. And unfortunately for the league, they just play together. So
I don't think Klay Thompson would have, even if he played on his own team and he was the guy, I don't think that he would have ever came anywhere close to Steph.
we'll never know.
I don't think he would have even come anywhere in the top 10 if he had his own team.
You hate Klay Thompson. I don't know if that's that.
Well, I think
This is
I think he has one
revisionist
of
a
the
bit.
most beautiful jump shots I've ever seen in my life. I think that is the most beautiful shot, form wise and everything. I could watch him shoot a ball all day long. But I think if he's the number one option on your team, I don't think your team's gonna make it out of the first round.
And I was gonna say, well, like I said, we'll never know that, but
That's all that's what all sports talk is speculation.
like the Knicks were gonna like mortgage their future to make him their number one player, and I know that could be like a double-edged sword. Be like, well, it's the Knicks, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but franchises were willing to mortgage their future to make that guy their number one. To split up that, I think partially to split up that dynasty, but like to no avail, obviously.
Utah's running a zone right now against the Celtics.
Yeah, that Utah plus 10.5, not looking great. 72-84, your Celtics are, it's basically a boat race here.
Brogdon's hitting everything right now. On our Banner Report podcast, as we spend more time talking about the Warriors than the Celtics.
Well, I mean, listen, our stories are now forever intertwined.
Yeah. I mean, who's a bigger rival, the Bucks or the Warriors?
I'd say the Warriors.
I would still say the Bucks. You play them more every year.
Yeah, but when it comes to that final series was bad blood.
What do you think if the Bucks beat us in a series and they would be equal with the Warriors?
No, because we beat them. Well, maybe, I don't know.
I'd say one of those years that we beat them, they beat us. They've knocked us out of the playoffs with Kyrie.
Yeah, well, that's because Kyrie never showed up.
Knocked them out. So I still think it's the Bucks. I think we have more history with the Bucks.
I just don't feel like it's bad blood. There's no bad. Like I feel like all those guys love each other.
I don't think they love each other. I mean,
I
Thanasis
mean, it was all smiles. Yeah, but yeah, maybe I feel like the Antetokounmpos are a strange breed. Like I feel like they're unto themselves. They're like almost like
I think I wanted the Greek Freak, and he just dominates the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, I don't feel like I would like him either after I played a 48-minute basketball game with him. He fucking probably elbowed me 20 times, kicked me in the nuts and shit,
Oh,
and like I probably would hate him too.
it's not like we're out here like fighting with the Warriors when we played him, other than Draymond.
No, dude, there's a lot of bad blood. Klay Thompson was, Steph Curry was in the crowd giving you the sleep, like I put you to sleep sign. Klay Thompson says Boston fucking sucks and shit, like it's racist. There was a lot of vitriol with that series, and it came out this year when we played them, and they were in the Garden. I think they were in the Garden, and they're I don't know if you know this, they're the worst road team in like history, and they still pushed that game to overtime
I
against the
relish
Celtics
the
team.
fact I relish in the fact that they're so bad and on the road. It makes me laugh every time. Like, you won the championship last year, and you're gonna finish the year with probably less than 10 road wins.
And listen, I think the fact that it was because it was the Warriors, it got in our head, the players' heads, and we played down to their level, and we still ended up winning. But it was a fucking tooth and nail fight against a team that is awful on the road.
Well, the Warriors were gonna get up for that game too. Like, we can't. That's different than a road game.
The Celtics should have gotten up for it too, and I mean, they played.
What?
I feel like they played down to their level.
Well, no, the Warriors played up to ours. I think in that one.
I just feel like it was vitriolic,
I'm
especially
not
after
saying
last year.
I'm not saying there's no vitriol between them, but I still feel like the Bucks is more of a rivalry because of the amount of times you play them.
Can I say that I feel like the Sixers is a bigger rival than the Bucks?
No,
Well,
because
because we beat the shit out of them.
Joel Embiid even says it's not a rivalry because we beat him every time.
But
When the star player and the MVP candidate says that it's not a rivalry, then how are we as fans going to say it's a rivalry?
I hear you, but I know it's because he wants it so bad.
He wants it
He
so
wants
bad.
it so bad. He just can't do it.
Touch us. Like, they can't. They can't get with us.
Dude, he came so close. He came so close this year. He came so close, and he just couldn't. He couldn't get it.
For the regular season, it was crazy. It's wild.
I feel like he wants it,
He does.
and that's why it makes it more. I feel like Giannis is like, listen, I'm getting it regardless. If you beat us, like it's just the best man won. But I feel like Joel Embiid's like, fuck you, I want this. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna score 40 points, hit a buzzer beater, and I'm still gonna lose. But he wants it. And the Warriors, obviously, that was, I forever
We
hate
also
the
got to
Warriors.
look at it. This year is a little bit different for the Celtics too, because every team gets up for us. You were in the finals last year, so every single team is looking at you like, "Hey, that's a target on their back."
The Heat are bigger rivals than the Bucks.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Why? It was a hard series.
I No, it wasn't. It's less games.
No,
they're
it
both
wasn't.
seven. They're both seven.
Yeah, it was. It was less. It was the same amount of
Well,
games. And by the way, a Jimmy Butler inch off a jump shot from being the inverse.
I mean, if the Bucks decided to not give up 3-pointers, then I think that we lose that series last year.
Yeah, but they would not. That game seven was.
Was
They didn't even show up.
What was their game plan? Their game plan all year is, hey, we're going to give up threes. Don't give up layups and dunks.
Guess what? That's how the Celtics win basketball games. They don't do anything else other than shoot threes. Just stop them from doing that. You're gonna win.
Last year was a little bit of everything. This year it's all threes,
Yeah.
which I don't hate. If you can get the right threes, I don't hate it.
Well, I mean, you need to have the Celtics to have a awful night from three, which doesn't really happen that many times.
It only happens when they're not playing the right way. Why is there a timeout? Are we challenging it?
Start of the fourth quarter, Celtics up 93-78, looking like another win.
I hope so. I mean,
Dare I say?
Pay to play in like the whole quarter, so I like that. I haven't seen Brown playing like a whole quarter either. Like I said, this game should just be warm-up games for him. Just stay loose games. Don't they give us like 1.5, 2 quarters, and then just go sit?
Yeah, listen, unless this game gets really close, I don't want to see the Tatum and Brown play more than
game
like
gets
5
really
minutes this
close.
quarter.
I don't even want to see him play.
I know, but I want to win the
Down
game.
like 3 stones. Jazz. Like, come on, just finish out the game. Give the bench their run and let them get fucking some confidence going into the playoffs.
Let's get some JD Davison minutes going.
I want JD Davidson and Peyton Pritchard playing. I want to see how fast that backcourt plays. They both want to get out and run and gun.
I kind of like that though.
I want to see some fast play.
Peyton Pritchard is going to be a guy I'm going to be sad to see go.
Yeah. I mean, and you can never blame an athlete for wanting to go somewhere else to get playing time and make an impact on it because that's what they worked their whole life for. So,
Never, especially when it's like, listen, we drafted him in the first round to be a backup point guard, and then we went and we traded for his replacement, who's just better than him. And it's nobody's fault. The Celtics did the right thing, and Peyton Pritchard's doing the right thing for his career to be like, hey, I need to get burned elsewhere.
yeah, he's
You
been
know.
buried on the bench since he got drafted. I mean, he got drafted to a team full of guards and wings and ball handlers.
Well, we gave Malcolm Brogdon his job.
And then last year we traded Derek White too in the middle of the year, and he took his minutes too.
Yeah, and they're both better players. They should get more minutes. I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. It's like, it's just it's an unfortunate
games.
series of events.
Win games.
Yeah, of course, I would do that 10 times out of 10.
I would
Peyton, have a good
I
trip.
will gladly sign and trade Peyton Pritchard to the Suns.
They already have an undersized guard and fucking. Oh, I hate him so much. Campaign.
Oh,
What a fucking. Devin Booker's like 6'5". Like he's taller than
yeah,
Richard,
that'd be good.
but like Campaign is like 6 feet tall. I hate him.
Yeah.
He's a fucking weasel. He gives like he finishes like a layup. He goes like, oh, and he's like acting like he's a fake tough guy. I just
tough
don't
guy?
like him.
I think Mikal Bridges is kind of a fake tough guy too.
I don't know. I like Mikal Bridges. I
He hits
mean,
the threes. He points to does the finger guns at the bench and shit like that. Like
he's balling the fuck out. He can do that.
Mikal Bridges.
He also looks like Will Smith from the Fishtail movie or whatever the hell.
He's a good movie.
He's got a fish face for sure.
So, what's your level of worry with the Bucks?
I like our odds. I would like them a lot better if we had home court
10.
advantage.
10 is, hey, I have a brain tumor and I'm worried that I'm not going to make it. And 1 is like, I stubbed my toe.
I don't that scale makes no sense as compared to what? Like I'm worried? Like how do I compare that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm worried. Yeah. I'm like a 4.
Yeah, 4. You're
I'm going
75
to clip I'm going to clip this so when the Bucks sweep us in the playoffs, I'm going to post it on that episode.
I can tell you that I'm
Looking forward to
0% worried about them, and then you can clip it and be like, look at this fucking meatball.
At least I was honest. I think 4-5 is fair. Like, it's not a complete toss up. I feel like we got these guys' number, but if the fucking Bucks beat us, they're the best team. They're the best team this year. I'm not surprised.
I'm at like a 2 on the worry meter against the Bucks. To be honest with you, see them doing anything. Like all year all off season, we had to hear about how Chris Middleton was going to change the game. He's played every game against us this year. Hasn't done
Yeah,
much. Like
they're resting them to play against us. Play
they
against us
lost
too.
PJ Tucker, and did they lose Wes Matthews too? Is he playing?
They added. No, he's still on them. They added Jay Crowder and Joe Ingles.
All right, it's like still have no wing guards. Like
No, yeah, their wing. That's going to be their Achilles heel. Is that they're unfortunately they don't have a. I mean, it's unfortunate for them. PJ Tucker plays on the 76ers now. They don't have a wing defender. That's
I'd
worth
love
the
to
shit.
see the Bucks play each other, but I don't
Huh?
know. The way the seeding is, we're gonna end up playing the Sixers, but I would love to see the Sixers and the Bucks play each other. I think that's a really good matchup side, like top to bottom.
I think the Sixers are probably going to be. I like the Sixers to win against the Bucks. I like them to win against the Bucks, but to lose to us.
You think the Sixers would beat the Bucks in the series?
No, they play the next team the Bucks and the
talking
Celtics play is the
playoffs.
76ers.
I'm talking the playoffs, but yeah,
Well, right. Let's just
Sixers
extrapolate what I'm
matchup.
saying now to that.
the Sixers match up well with the Bucks.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Size to size, they match up well. I mean, we match up the best with them because we just have all wing scoring.
all wing scoring. We are heavily guard loaded, and we're the best team in the league. Teams need to match us. We don't need to match them.
That's one thing I'm worried about with Missoula's coaching because I've noticed that he likes to try and change his lineups based on what the other team's doing. Like
Yeah, but
last time
doesn't
we played the
everybody?
Jazz, he tried to go like double big. And it's like just play. It's like don't think about it that much. Just play Derek White. Make them match us. Like
It's a
yeah, they're
fair
gonna beat
point.
you on rebounds, but like you're gonna beat the hell out of them on offense. They're not gonna be able to catch up with you, and you're gonna hit threes and catch up. You want to shoot threes. Stick with your game and make them adjust to you because you're clearly the best offensive team in the league.
The Celtics' big glaring hole, if there can even say it, is center, and
Then we
obviously that hinges on Rob Williams' availability.
we like playing small anyways, so like worst
I
comes
thought Rob was particularly effective last night.
oh, he's great off the bench. I love Rob off the bench. He has so much energy. And he changes games, and I like him off the bench against the Bucks because you want to start Horford on Giannis.
Hmm.
Horford's a better defender on Giannis than I think Rob is because I think
Interesting.
Horford's a lot stronger. Like against the
Yeah, like solid. Like
he's
you're not
more
gonna move him
solid.
off the block.
Yeah, like Giannis isn't going to post up Horford, and if Giannis tries to drive on Horford, he's a lot more solid than Rob is. Rob's
Yeah.
the guy who doesn't like you getting into his body.
Hmm.
That's how Rob gets his blocks. He doesn't want you getting into his body. He wants to go get it out of the air. But you
Right.
can't do that with Giannis. Giannis is going to get into your body.
Yeah, he is. That's pause.
I mean, you saw the block that Rob had on him last
He
night.
swatted him from behind.
Yeah,
What a great block.
it was elite. That's how Rob gets his blocks, and that's how he finishes plays.
Yeah. That's why I said if there is a weakness, it's that. Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown are not weaknesses. Tatum just went down. That's scary. Um, Grant Williams, I do like. I think he's played himself into some solid minutes. You know,
Starting to turn up.
he's had a good switch turn here.
He's having a good game tonight too. This is why
Yeah. Huh?
this is the kind of part of the reason why I want him to sit a lot of these starters in these games because I want to see the bench guys get some confidence going into the playoffs.
Yeah, but he's been
Bench
having
guys
such a
get
bad year.
play.
He could play himself into a funk. I don't want to see him do that either.
I don't want to see that either, obviously, but like you would like to see him get a couple more shots up.
Yeah. Now it's 87-101 with 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes left. All you're basically hoping for now is if the Celtics can hold these guys off, if the Jazz can cover at 10.5, so I can make some money. That'd be nice. Give me a taste.
You got the Celtics covered 10.5 for the Jazz.
Jazz,
Yeah, so
but they're down. Well, they're covering right now because Chris Dunn just got an and one. Oh no, they're not covering. I lied.
close, but no cigar.
Mikey Muscle's coming off the court, but so rank your playoff coaches right now. Who's from best to worst?
Both conferences or just the East, or
Let's do
I
the
don't think
East.
there's any real great coaches in the West, to be honest.
Well, Mike Brown's gonna win Coach of the Year, so
Yeah, Mike Brown's a really good coach, yeah, but I mean, I'm not worried about Mike Brown in the playoffs. I'm coaching somebody, you know what I mean? I think
well, he couldn't out coach Joe Mazzulla. So yeah, you're right.
huh?
He couldn't out coach Joe Mazzulla.
I mean, once again, I think we have so much skill on this team that like even if Missoula's coaching isn't elite, you can still find a way to win game.
Yeah, no, that was just a simple case of one team's a lot better than the other. The other one's just having a good year.
It was also I think we played the Kings were on the last night of a road trip or something like that. So
Yeah, but they've been pretty bad all week. They've was that a double? What is it? What happened?
I didn't see it. I saw everybody complaining, but I didn't see it actually happened. So we got East coaches. Let me take a look at the standings. I can't remember who the hell half these
Let's
people.
see if I can even remember all the East coaches.
I mean, I know the top three are gonna be Bud, um,
Yep.
Stroh, and Nick Nurse. Those are gonna be your top three coaches in the playoffs.
Bud, Missoula, Doc. Who's Cleveland's head coach?
Baker stuff. I want to say
Yes, right.
either wrong.
Huh?
Jalen Brown just assaulted somebody. Uh, we got Tom Thibodeau. I don't know how we feel about him as a coach.
Thibodeau. Brooklyn is Jacques Vaughn.
And you got Spoelstra. Atlanta fired. Did
Yeah,
they
it's
fire their
Wilson.
coach?
Will. No, what's his name?
They
Oh, Taylor Horton Tucker's got smacked in the head.
Jalen Brown assaulted him. Tell me that dude's 20. I don't believe you.
Nate. No, what the fuck?
Hey, McMillan?
Quinn Snyder.
Oh, yeah, they got rid of McMillan. They got Snyder. Is Snyder in the top? He was a
Quinn
really
Snyder, Nick Nurse, and Chicago's is I have no idea. Who the hell is Chicago's head coach? Let's just do the 8 seeds. No, let's do 10.
uh head coach Billy Donovan for Chicago.
Okay. Rank them 1 through 10.
You gotta go Spoelstra's number one. Are we just talking about pure coaching ability?
Mm-hmm,
Talk
mm-hmm.
about coaching ability mixed with the people they got on the team.
Pure coaching ability.
Pure coaching.
Like,
We got Spo as one. I
I
would
agree.
probably put Nick Nurse at two.
Agreed.
And I probably put Bud at three. Maybe
Yeah.
Thibodeau at four. I don't
Yeah.
Thibodeau, no, Quinn Snyder probably at four.
No, I take Tibbs. The way he's coached that Knicks team.
But I mean, we're talking about fairly skilled because didn't they make Western Conference Finals with Quinn Snyder on the Jazz?
Uh,
They made deep runs every
when?
year.
Yeah, like a million years ago. When?
And Tom Thibodeau hasn't done anything with the Knicks in the last 4 or 5 years he's been there either. So
He's taking them to the playoffs this year.
Quinn Snyder made the playoffs every year with the Jazz.
He's about to not make the playoffs with the Hawks.
They picked up the Hawks after they wanted Nate McMillan fired since freaking November.
All right. Well, it's your list. Quinn Snyder at 5.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I put. What did I have first? I had Bolstra,
Spo,
Nurse, Bud.
Bud.
Then I had Quinn at four, I think. Thibodeau at five. Um, I'm thinking I gotta put Missoula at six at this point.
Okay.
And then I might put Doc at seven.
Okay.
I put Doc behind Missoula, which is a terrible pick.
Well, listen, the fucking book is out on Doc. The book has yet to be written on Joe.
It's true. And then maybe I put Jacques Vaughn because somehow they're still treading water over there in Brooklyn. And then Bickerstaff, I guess, would be the last one.
And then Donovan 10.
Yeah, I guess you put Donovan at 10, yeah.
Okay. Not a bad list. I got.
Cleveland?
Huh?
Let me double check.
JB Bickerstaff is the head coach of Cleveland. I have.
I just don't know anything about JB Bickerstaff. Putting him that low as the Cleveland's like the 4 seed.
Yeah, JB
like-
Bickerstaff is like critically low in your list. I got yeah. So I got Spo. Who what how the hell did your list go?
I had
Spo, Nurse,
then you
Bud.
had Bud, yeah. It's tough. There's a lot of really good coaches in the East, to be honest.
I got
We got a 4.
Tibbs,
The Tibbs at 4, okay.
Bickerstaff,
I don't know.
Maz, Missoula, Jacques Vaughn, Actually, flip those two. I got Vaughn, then Maz.
You got Missoula at 7.
Yeah, well, you had him at 6. Um, I got Doc.
At 8.
Doc at 8.
Oh boy, and you got
Atlanta's Snyder
Quinn
there.
Snyder at 9. You got Quinn Snyder behind Joe Missoula.
Donovan at 10.
You got Quinn
Yeah.
Snyder behind Missoula.
Yeah, he's about to. I mean, the Hawks are not bereft of talent. They're just not good.
Oh,
Like, they're
you only
not well
started coaching
coached.
him a couple weeks ago.
Well, yeah, okay, so fine. He was a coach without a job up until 2 weeks ago. That's how good of a coach he is.
No, because the Jazz were going to rebuild after they traded Rudy Gobert for 85,000 draft picks, and he decided, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. He still had a year left on his contract, and he said, I'm going to opt out of the rest of my contract.
Well, fine. All right, fine. Then Maz is behind Snyder.
So you got him at what? 8 now? You got
7. Right?
you got
Okay, fine. Snyder's ahead of Doc and Missoula.
So you still got Missoula at 8 then. Because you had Doc ahead of Missoula too.
Yeah. So Missoula's at 8. So Jacque Vaughn's a better coach than all of them. So
You think that there's only 2 coaches worse than Joe Missoula fighting for a playoff spot right now?
maybe because I'm critical of him. I think Jacque Vaughn's a better coach. Yeah, look at what he's doing with less talent. Way less talent.
To be fair, he had more talent. Well, not more talent.
No, he
but
didn't.
He didn't have more talent, but he still had elite talent for most of the year. I just put him so high because they're treading water since they lost
No,
Durant.
when did they fire Nash?
Like 3 weeks into the season or something like that.
Yeah, and then the deadline was what, a month after that?
No, deadline's in February. Deadline's the beginning of February.
Regardless, they're still the 6th seed, and their best player is Mikal Bridges. So
Yeah, well, like I said, they've been treading water. They were a 3 seed when they traded everybody. So yeah, they've been really good this year after that. And Jacque Vaughn found a way to make it work too with Kyrie and KD for a while. So I'm not gonna say he's a bad coach, but
all right, fine. Then fuck you. I put you talked me into Quinn Snyder. I put Missoula ahead of Quinn Snyder initially.
well, I mean, we're talking about just purely like what like we have the book on Quinn Snyder, and he's a really good coach. We don't have a book on Missoula. It's like the
That's my
opposite of
logic.
the Doc Rivers argument, where it's like we have the book on Doc Rivers, so we're going to put Missoula ahead of him. We have the book on Quinn Snyder, so we're going to put Quinn Snyder ahead of him.
I feel like Doc's done a pretty solid job coaching this team, though.
that was a filthy 3 by Jason Tatum.
So it looks like I'm not going to get my money. Hey, dirty. Cody doesn't get his money. Don't you worry.
I think that we have Tatum playing fourth quarter minutes right now against the Jazz, missing 3 starters.
All right, you went. Holy crap. Dude, the West is such a shit show. It's crazy.
I'm not even going to try and make the West coach.
Who's the number? Guess who the number 2 seed in the West is? That's fucking insane. That can't be right.
Is it the Suns?
How many wins did the Celtics have this year?
52? Okay.
Okay.
Wait a
No, it is
second.
not. It is not the Suns. The Suns are goddamn. Oh, I'm tripping. Forget it. It's not the Suns though.
I'm looking at it right now. It's Memphis, yeah.
Yeah, I was tripping. I was looking at the conferences. I was like, the fucking New Orleans Pelicans are the 2nd seed in the West. They're the 7th, but
We have the second best record in the league.
yeah, the Bucks have the best.
Yeah. So really, if we just keep this pace, then the only time we're not going to have home court is going to be the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks.
I would like home court against the Bucks. I just would like it. I know it doesn't technically matter, but
I would like $100 in my pocket right now too. It don't matter.
I just want to win these games.
I can do without it. It's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Blake Griffin's getting himself tossed out of the game.
Tatum got a T2.
Oh my God, Tony Brothers is Tony Brothersing. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Tatum's still
It's
young.
happening. Two back-to-back technical fouls. One on Blake and then one on Jaylen Brown. Two different possessions.
One on Tatum, one on
Oh, it was on Tatum.
Brown's not even in the game. Oh yeah, he's down there.
Fool, you just said it was on Brown.
No, I said it was on Tatum.
Oh. Yeah, it is on Tatum.
Guy shows up to a banner report podcast with a Bengals jersey on. Bengals.
It's a nice jersey.
Bengals.
It's Joe Shiesty, baby.
Better on Al Horford over there. Dominican Daddy.
It is a 11-point game.
They're trying their best to get you on that 10.5, bro. Tony Brothers is asking for his palms to be greased after this one.
Tony Brothers is Tony Brothersing. Let's go. he might Tony Brothers so hard he's gonna Tony Brothers the Utah into making this game really close. Like,
You can see it. That would be Tony Brothers for you. Scott Foster over there, they call him the extender.
yeah.
Fucking gross. NBA has an officiating problem.
For sure. It's bad. It's like not good. They maybe have the worst officials out of all the sports.
It's a hard game to officiate because you could call foul on like every single play.
Yeah, but that's literally what they say about football.
Yeah. But there's a lot of it that it's like that's clearly a bad call. And you're clearly calling this technical because you feel like it.
Well, it's bad because it's a predominantly offensive game, right? And if you're calling fouls, they have to stop the game and give you shots. And it's just I think it's a lot more visible when they stop the game and give you and you can only make so many fouls before players start getting kicked out of the game. Like a penalty is so costly in the NBA, whereas in football, penalties are generally pretty evenly distributed, and they can decide games. Oftentimes they do. The Super Bowl, but they can even each other out. I don't know if fouls can necessarily cost you. I mean, they can, right, in a vacuum, but
You can ask LeBron James about that one against the Celtics.
in an aggregate, they generally don't cost you the game. You lost probably because for another reason,
You can say that for every sport, though. Like the Red Sox didn't lose that game on.
Whoa! Blake Griffin's fighting with Chris Dunn. Let's go.
Yeah, this is a weird one. Why are the Jazz getting all bent out of shape?
Blake Griffin's gonna get the 16 tech. This is where Missoula has to step in and be like, everybody the fuck on the bench. Enough of this. When you're winning by fucking 14 points.
Blake Griffin cannot. There's no chance. 16 technical fouls this year.
Well, he has 2
Sweet.
right off the in 2 games. Yeah, I know there's no chance he has 16. But
He wasn't playing up to get 16.
if you did like a per 36 of technicals, this is pretty high.
Rasheed Wallace averages like 1.8 fucking technicals per 36 or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Blake Griffin just called Chris Dunn a pussy to his face, so that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, when you got a mustache like that, you can say what you want. It is what it is.
He's laughing. He's laughing in his face.
He's been doing that when Thanasis headbutted him last night. He laughed at him afterwards. It's just a power move.
I do like having like a guy like Blake Griffin in the locker room. I feel like he's just a good guy to have.
The veteran guy. He's good vibes in the locker room. He knows what you got to do to get the job done. He's
And
even keel.
He's like Al Horford is that guy. We have the luxury of having 2 of those guys, and Al, who's like a senior. He's like the chieftain. He's like the chief of the fucking the pack.
Locker room. He's everybody's vet.
And
I'd probably go to for advice in that locker room if I would have to go.
this season has a lot of vibes of like if we win the championship, if this could be like a storybook end to Al's career. I mean, he's 36. He's been in the league forever. I could very much see this being Al's like last go around, and it kind of has the vibes of that. But
If we don't
You
get
know,
it this year, I can see him coming back for another year or two. But I think if he does get one, I don't think he's coming back.
yeah, like go out like Peyton Manning, like on your coattails, and he's a
But
lot more productive of a player than Peyton Manning was in his final year. But Peyton Manning is just
Peyton Manning also
the
got a Super Bowl early in his career. He was just trying to chase the second one. So
yeah, he's just the poster boy for going out on top recently. You know,
I would think Bus.
Trump Bettis.
Yeah, I remember him going out on that Steelers championship.
Yeah, I like to get. I think that's a little bit disrespectful to compare Jerome Bettis to Al Horford. I think the Peyton Manning comparison probably makes him feel a little bit better about his career.
I mean, Trump Bettis Hall of Famer.
Is he now?
In
When did
my eyes,
that happen?
in my eyes, he's a Hall of Famer.
I think he is a Hall of Famer. I can't remember
Hall of Fame
though.
smile. I know that. Guy
The
seems like the
bus.
jolliest person I've ever seen in my life. To be honest, every time I've ever seen him on interviews, laughing and smiling. So,
He is a hofer.
did he make it? Hell yeah!
Yeah, 2015.
Avid listener to Jerome Bettis. How you doing today, boss?
Damn, he played forever.
He did.
He played from 93 to 2005. That's a long
running
career
back.
for a bruising running back.
A fullback too.
Super Bowl champion, rookie of the year, comeback player of the year, Walt Man of the year, two-time All Pro, second team All Pro, six-time Pro Bowler,
How
13,000 rushing yards, 91
should you weigh
touchdowns.
a Pro Bowl for a guy though? Because like it doesn't like the 12th best quarterback in the league make the Pro Bowl because the rest of them don't want to go.
No, it's generally like if you're playing in the Super Bowl, like Tom Brady, like never went to the Pro Bowl.
Like the running backs and the wide receivers don't go to Pro Bowls, right? Like don't
No,
they
that's
all?
not true. Some of them do.
Or like the defensive players say we're not going because like why do I want to waste my vacation going to Hawaii to play in a game? Doesn't mean anything.
Well, they don't. It's a flag. It's literally a flag football game now, so they
Well,
don't hit each other.
before it wasn't.
Before it was a real game.
Well,
Fucking
Venice was
Sean.
making Pro Bowls. Like, was it? It wasn't. It wasn't a fucking.
I'm
like,
gonna insert here the clip of Sean Taylor decleating the punter
yeah,
in the Pro Bowl game. it's,
the guy
the,
got right back up too.
it's one of the greatest highlights of any Pro Bowl of all time. It's Sean Taylor absolutely R.I.P. to a real one. I love Sean Taylor. Decleated this punter in the Pro Bowl.
That punter still has a headache today, and I have zero doubt about that. Lesser men would have died. We talk about punters and kickers like they're not real players, but like I'm not getting up after getting hit like that.
I feel like punters are like hockey goalies. They're like just not wrap tight.
It's just different.
Yeah. Walker Kessler with the emphatic stuff of Blake Griffin at the fucking rim. Kelly Olynyk with an efficient 7-6-3, 8-6-3.
No, you want to talk about a fishing? You look at Jason Tatum's stat line tonight.
No, but let's cover it in the moratorium.
Oh, I got the chills looking at that stat line. Holy shit!
I'm sure I'm going to see it in a matter of seconds. Step out on that. Oh, you should have shot that. Oh, God. Jalen almost fucking crammed it. Let's go, Tatum.
James trying to kill like 5 different people tonight. He had one on Walker Kessler, went up to dunk it, and Kessler stuffed him, but it went off the backboard and went in.
Having said that, I don't want to see that again. Oh my God, Tatum going for 40.
Dude, 39 points on 12 of 15 shooting. That is wildly efficient.
Wait, what did I just see was 11 for 25?
That might have been the team shooting or something. But he's 12 of 15. Or 12 of 15, probably at this point. Yeah. I mean, the guy's had 2 back-to-back wildly efficient games. If Tatum gets on a heater from 3 and it runs into the playoffs, I don't think this team can touch us.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's like definitely.
Just beat the Raptors. It doesn't really affect us in any way, but
76. What was the score?
117, 110. But 76ers, that they're just trying to catch up with us. And I don't think we're like 3 games ahead of them or something like that. So I don't think
Yeah. And we have any tiebreaker over them.
this year the Celtics are 5-1 against the Bucks and the Sixers. And the only
They
loss was that Valentine's Day game where nobody played the Celtics against the Bucks.
I saw Coley Mick saying like, "Oh, the Celtics play down to like the narrative that the Celtics play down the competition is bullshit." I don't think that's true. I think it is. I think it is true that they play down like they let shit teams survive. They don't step on the throats enough for my liking.
They,
And
they take the lead and they just take their foot off the pedal.
I know they're playing a professional sport against another professional basketball team. Basketball is a hard sport. I get it. Like, to be like, oh, they took it easy is like such a, derogatory way to look at the game. It's like, I get it, but how come it's not an issue for the Bucks? They could stomp on a team. We're better than the Bucks, right? Like every time we played them, we've only lost once, and it was because our missing our two best players. You know, we play well. We beat the shit out of big. We rise to the occasion. We also lower ourselves to the occasion. You know.
Teams we respect, we beat the brakes out of teams that we like actually respect.
Yes, essentially. Like that's why I had a running take that where it's like I'm really nervous for the first round of the Celtics playoffs. I don't want to catch the Heat worry me, the Knicks worry me. Whoever we're going to play in the first round. As long as we can get by the first and second round, who we're generally playing like a lower quality playoff team. As long as we can get through that, I think we're winning the whole thing. Because we're going to beat the 76ers and or Bucks in the series. I just have a vibe that we're going to do that because we've beaten them all year.
Yeah, I mean, we rise up to teams that we respect and we find as our equals.
Jazz doing everything in their power to make me some money.
Yeah. I don't like the way this game is ending right now. This is bothering me. We'll talk about
considering your two best players are on the court.
Yeah. We'll talk about this after the game is over for sure. After you see what's going on.
Bad shot by Tatum. Oh, he almost stole it. He did steal it. You don't like how it's ending? He just got the ball back on an interception.
No, they're forcing to try to get Tatum 40 because he has 39. Tatum's hustling to save balls going out of bounds when you're up by
true.
30 seconds left in the game.
I don't like that at all.
No, I don't want him to hustle for any of that shit. He already fell on top of a camera guy earlier. I don't like that.
Jalen's wide open, Malcolm. Hit that. They're trying to set him up. Fuck. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. 10 points. Don't force it. Don't turn the ball over. Let's go. THT going to the line.
Everybody's favorite 45-year-old, 20-year-old.
That body 20, but that hairline 55.
A body 45 and everything, so I don't believe. I think that they screwed up on his birth certificate.
He's balding in the back too.
Yeah, I put down the wrong number on that one. We got our revenge on the Jazz. 8-point win. You're in the money. You're in the green on that one.
Don't tell me that Jason Tatum comes down and hits a 3-pointer. I'll fucking cry.
Even if he did, that would be 11. And I was 10.5, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That
Tatum with just chucks it one hand.
At 40. Oh man.
2 for 2, baby. Although, what was Walker Kessler's line?
We had to be close.
I feel like he was the only player that showed up for him.
THT.
Chris Dunn. He fought hard.
He fought.
He literally at times.
Tried to. Blake Griffin laughed at him like he was a small child.
Walker Kessler finished with 20 points. I like to hear that. And 10 boards. Yeah, he crushed it.
He only had 10 boards?
Yeah.
6 in the first quarter. Holy shit.
He also has 3 blocks. He should win Rookie of the Year.
Should he? You gonna put your vote in? Or you put your bet down? How about you bet on it? Because you don't have a vote. You should bet on it.
It's too late for that now. I wouldn't have bet on that. I wouldn't have bet on that even at the beginning. I didn't know this fucking guy existed until he started playing well. Quintero, obviously, I knew existed because he. Yeah.
I live in such a beautiful little bubble that I don't know who any of these rookies are that don't get drafted by the Celtics because none of the people the Celtics draft are relevant.
Do you even know who besides Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? Grant Williams. um, Robert Williams. I would say. Do you even know how Walker Kessler got on the Jazz?
No, not even the slightest clue. I know
Come
I'm
on,
going to
think about
watch
it.
two on Netflix.
Huh?
I said I know I'm going to watch Murder Mystery 2 on Netflix with Adam
Adam
Sandler
Sandler. Nice, nice. Congrats.
vibes. I love this.
He was traded for Rudy Gobert. He was drafted. He's a rookie. He was
Yeah,
drafted by
I
the
remember
Timberwolves.
saying that he's better than Rudy Gobert already.
Exactly. Seems like they got the better, and they got a million first round picks. So good for Danny Ainge. He has a center piece, a center to build around a little bit here. And Laurie Markin, an all star.
And they got tons of picks too.
Yeah. So, uh, what's the moratorium on this game? How do you feel? Feel better or worse as a Celtics fan?
Indifferent. I mean, it's not like we're not gonna get the one seed. We just talked about this. I don't believe we're gonna get the one seed. So
I think it's still in play. It's tough.
I like seeing that the backups are getting minutes and getting some buckets out there. I think Grant had a good game from what I saw. He's hitting a bunch of threes, which I like to see. That's
Grant
what
Williams' stat line 17 minutes, 13 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, plus 10, 5 for 6 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3. Solid.
I want to see from him because like that's good. We're getting building blocks into the playoffs in these games. That's what I want to see more from these games than wins. I mean, wins obviously sweet. Like we love seeing wins, but I want to see building blocks for this bench to try to get the confidence up for this playoffs because you're gonna need your bench in the playoffs. You're gonna have nights where the stars are gonna get shut down. And teams are gonna sell out to stop Tatum and Brown, and you need your bench to be there to give you a little bit of something to take the pressure off.
Hmm.
Pressure, you need that release valve. Like
Grant Williams was such a big player in that Bucks series. Like
yeah,
he
it's like
really
quarterback
came to his own.
when he's throwing a pass, he has the release out to the flat with the running back. Like you need that
Mhm.
little bit of something that you can just get rid of the ball and get some yards out of it.
Yeah. Just some stats for you. Tatum played 36 minutes. Don't like that. He scored 39 points, had 11 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals. He was a plus 7 on the night, 12 of 17 from the field, 10 of 11 from the line, and 5 of 8 from 3. Just MVP numbers, if you ask me.
He was
Um,
efficient from three, more than 50% from three, and he's getting the line 11 times.
I mean, the way he's for the past on this back to back, he was uh,
79 points on
he's 13. He's 13 for 18 from 3 point from the past two for the back to back.
he was 5 of 8 and 8 of 10. 13 of 18, yeah.
Yeah,
It was wildly efficient.
pretty goddamn good. That's gonna boost his career average of 34 and a half or whatever the fucking stupid shit it is.
12 of 17 from the field tonight, too.
Blake Griffin played 24 minutes, 6 points, 12 boards, 5 assists, 1 steal,
12 boys.
plus 3.
Like
Not efficient
like
from.
I said, not a negative out there.
Nope. Good plug and play, if you ask me. On a size heavy team, probably one of the biggest, uh, you know, center power forward matchups you're going to see in Kelly Olynyk and Walker Kessler and Laurie Markkinen didn't play this game, but it's still a 10-point win.
Big dubs.
Jaylen Brown, 34 minutes, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. It was a -5 on the night. 5 of 19 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. Bad night for Jaylen.
Bad night for Jalen, but he's still coming out with a 10-point win because stepped up and did their job.
Yeah, he's been your best player I'm not worried about him. He's been your best player
He's been
for
great.
half the year.
Absolutely on a roll, getting a great rhythm going in the last half, which I love seeing a guy with a rhythm going into the playoffs.
And here's an interesting story for you. Both at 28 minutes. Marcus Smart played 28. He scored 14. 2 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. Finishes a +2.
I'm just shooting numbers on that. It wasn't great.
5 for 16 from the field.
For 5 from 3.
4 for 13 from 3.
I don't like him taking 13 threes.
He took the most on the team, on the floor,
That's
on the team. Derek White, 28 points, 28 minutes, 17 points.
say 28 points. Where did he? I saw him hooping out there. I see him hooping.
That motherfucker was hooping. No, 28 minutes, 17 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, 0 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover. He finishes a plus 16. He's your plus minus leader of the night. Plus 16. 6 for 15 from the field. 2 for 9 from 3. Not great from distance. You know.
All those threes in the first quarter too. He hit both those threes back to back in the first quarter, so he went 0 of 7 after the first quarter.
Yeah, Brogdon didn't play well either. 31 minutes, 19 points, 19 points is good, but 3 boards, 7 assists. Finished as a -7. Shot 50%, 7 for 14 from the field, 3 for 8 from the line.
3 for 8 from the line. You got to do better than that. He's better playing 3 from 8 from the line.
He's one of the best. He's probably the second best 3-point shooter in the goddamn league. Like,
Talking about 3 for 8 from the 3-point line.
yeah,
Oh, I thought you were talking about from the free throw line.
no, from free throw he's 2 for 2.
Oh, okay. Well, 3 from 8 from the 3. I don't. That's fine. You're 1 3 short of shooting 50%. I'm fine with that.
Your favorite, Luke Cornett, 15 minutes,
15 minutes for that fucking guy.
over under 0.5 points.
Under
0.0
played
points.
15 minutes and you couldn't get a point.
Over under 2 rebounds.
Over.
Nope, he pushed 2 rebounds. Oh god.
Oh.
And 0 assists, 0 steals, 1 block. Finishes at plus 6.
It was a loud block. I'll give him that.
He's a plus 6.
Plus 6. All right, sweet.
Better than Jaylen Brown.
Smart. There we go. And look at that. We should just trade Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. We can just build around Luke Cornett. Championship aspirations.
A 0, 2, and 0 stat line is pretty hilarious.
That's a Luke Cornett special right there.
Yeah.
I want to see him out on the basketball court.
You know, I mean, he played a tough, big matchup. So maybe he's not bad.
He played 15 minutes.
Yeah, and 6 of those minutes were really good.
Weird flex, but okay.
I'd
rather play Blake Griffin than fucking Luke Cornett. To be honest, doesn't matter what the matchup is. I'd still rather play Blake Griffin.
Yeah, Blake Griffin's a better player than Luke Cornett. But I mean, the sun's gonna rise tomorrow. Like, that's not saying much. Who is the leading scorer on Utah?
It was probably Walker Kessler with 20, unless THC outdid him. Yeah,
Your favorite player, Taylor Horton Tucker, 31 minutes, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 turnovers. Finishes a -5. 9 for 21 from the field, 10 for 10 from the line, 0 from 3. 0 for 3 from 3.
That's not a bad game, to be honest.
No, not. I mean, the turnovers kind of suck. 4 turnovers, that blows.
Look at the defense look who he's going against, though. He's matched up with Tatum, Brown, and Smart.
I know.
Gonna turn the ball over, and if you're THT, you're not Damian Lillard out there. You're not like, it's not Kevin Durant. We turned Kevin Durant over more than that in the playoffs last year. Now that's Kevin Durant.
I mean, 28, 8 and 7 is a really good. That's a LeBron James stat
31
line.
minutes and 31 minutes too. It wasn't like he played 40 something minutes to get that.
Taylor Horton Tucker, the next LeBron, folks. People are saying, "Holy shit!"
By people, you mean me? Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so not all bad for Utah. They're kind of going the way of the dinosaur for this season. They're falling out of the playoffs stupendously, but they have pieces. Walker Kessler.
I'm in Oklahoma City. You're gonna watch the NBA draft this whenever it is. What is it? In was it July, August?
Yeah.
Something like that. It's gonna be, you're gonna be watching and you'll be like, oh, the Jazz have a pick. The Thunder have a pick. It's the Jazz again. Oh, okay. The Thunder. The Thunder got another pick. You're going to be waiting 25, 30 minutes before your team gets any pick, and then you're going to be waiting another 20 minutes before your team gets another pick. Like you're going to be watching the Jazz and the Thunder draft their G League teams.
Yeah, and the Timberwolves too.
Yeah.
I mean, no, the Jazz, not the Timberwolves.
If they have, I don't know if these two guys have G League teams.
The worst thing about Taylor Horton Tucker, born November 25th, 2000.
Oh,
He's 22 years old.
right around Thanksgiving too.
That sucks, dude. Imagine being born in the 2000s and you have that hairline.
23.
That blows.
Being 23 and having a fucking.
No, he's 22, jackass.
I guess he's 22. You're right.
In November, he'll be 23.
There's no reason to cuss at me over Taylor Horton Tucker's age. Whatever you want. You're the boss.
No, that's all right. Just having an existential crisis.
Hey,
I'm 20. I'm 28 years old, and I'm going bald, and I'm not in the NBA.
Tatum is 24 of 35 in the last two games.
Has scored 79 points in the last 2 games.
Fucking wild. When the guy gets on a heater, you just gotta pray he misses. That's all you can do.
Yep, agreed. I feel good. Let's just circle the look ahead. Probably do another one on Friday against the Raptors unless you're busy.
Raptors? Oh no, I'm really scared of the Raptors. They gotta beat the Bucks in the playoffs, from what I've heard.
They'll take a game. So Tuesday, you're in Philadelphia. Win or loss?
I got a W on that one. You know the boys are gonna step up for that. You're gonna have Rob. You're gonna have Al. You're gonna have. That's our next game after tonight.
Yeah.
So you got Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You got 3 days off, going in fully torqued. Just
Hell yeah.
off the Viagra, just ready to go. Like,
and don't forget the 76ers play the Bucks on Sunday.
Yeah, your second night of a back-to-back, and although I think the Sixers might sit early against the Bucks. If they have a back-to-back against us the night afterwards, they're trying to catch us in the standings. They might take that game more seriously than the Bucks game.
Yeah. Wednesday and Friday, you got the Raptors. You get the Raptors, both those games, home and home. Yep.
I say we split that.
Okay.
That's a weird one. But home and home, for some reason, we just have not done well.
You probably lose on Wednesday because it's a back-to-back. And you got to fly from Philly.
I thought you said we had them on. Oh, we have them on Tuesday or Monday?
No, we have them Tuesday.
Back-to-back, flying home from. I mean, yeah, you got that hour-and-a-half flight from Philly. I don't know what they're going to do with that one.
No, I mean, I hear you, but it's a back-to-back regardless.
I bet you they lose the Friday game that we watch, and then we can just pull our
be
hair
upset.
out. We're gonna pull our hair like we're gonna lose the first round of the finals because the first round of the playoffs because we lost to Toronto.
Yeah, that's funny.
One way or the other.
I have it the opposite of what you're saying. I have the loss on Friday, on Wednesday, but yeah, I could see it happen. Realistically, that's probably what's going to happen. Sunday, you have the Hawks at home.
I mean, it's a toss-up because it's like, will that game affect seeding? Because like if the Bucks decide to win out or whatever, and that doesn't affect our seeding, and we can't fall below the second, and we can't make it the first, we're gonna sit everybody. Like, why would you play anybody in that game that before the playoffs when you can't improve yourself in any way?
I hear you. Yeah. So
that one we might have to revisit that one on Friday once we figure out where the Bucks and Celtics are in the standings.
Yep.
And the Bucks decide to shit their pants and lose the next 3 or 4 games, and we might try and win that Hawks game.
And by the way, you basically have the Bucks winning every game.
I can see them win every game.
Well, yeah, I can see the Celtics winning every game.
I mean, but it's like we both know, it all comes down to injury. What happens? Like weird shit happens.
Well, Middleton's probably going to be out for Sunday.
I don't know if he's getting surgery or anything like that. I'm such a sadist that I literally listened to like Bucks podcasts today after we beat the brakes off them last night because I just wanted to hear more about the Celtics kicking the shit out of the Bucks.
What was the recipe? What was the temperature on them?
They laughed it off. Oh, it's just one of those bad games to the Bucks and this, that, and the third. It's like I can definitely see that because like we did the same thing when we got the doors blown off by the Thunder, but this is also a game that you should probably get up for because this is going to be a playoff Eastern Conference Finals matchup. So you probably shouldn't be laughing off a 41-point loss to them.
Yeah. Oh shit! I didn't even notice your sweatshirt.
Yeah, I got
Is
the
that Mass Jalen Brown? Oh no, what is that?
Tatum Venom sweatshirt on.
Oh shit! I thought it was Jalen Brown with the mask. That's still sick. I like that.
Yeah, it's old school. I got this years ago, but it's they were all like whatever. It's the Bucks could hit water falling out of a boat and this, that, and the third. And Celtics just showed up and the Bucks didn't. And but to their credit, they also were talking about how like they can't play up the fact that it was a back to back or anything like that because it's a game the Bucks still should have gotten up for, and a back to back doesn't mean you get blown up by 41.
I mean, that's how you
They're
know it's
talking
not.
like Chris Middleton's not going to be out that long. There hasn't been any update, but there's nothing bad coming out of the woodworks about how
Probably just needed stitches.
maybe a couple stitches, nothing crazy. So he should probably be back for the next couple games.
That's how you know, by the way, it's an unserious sports market. Because if you just flipped it, if we lost that game by fucking 30, 40 points, you know Felger and Maz would be like, it's over, the season's done. I would have been ripping my fucking whatever hair I have left out of my head, being like, this team sucks.
Yeah, I was in WEI today, and they're trying to spin it as a bad thing.
Oh, they did on Felger and Maz today too. They said, they're actually they said they ranked the tiers of teams, and they have the Bucks and the Suns in tier one, the Nuggets and the Grizzlies in tier two, and the Celtics and 76ers are in tier three in terms of who's going to win the championship.
That's
And,
the
and like Tony Maz went on the thing, he's like, oh, the 40-point game, Tatum, the team was clicking, they looked so good. He went on for like 10 minutes talking because that's what you could do. He went on for 10 minutes about how good that Celtics win game was, but he was like they were doing so good, and then you knew it was coming, but but
Chris Middleton didn't play the whole game, and the Bucks
yeah,
were back to back, and they don't do any research on anything.
no, their NBA takes are particularly putrid.
Yeah, I mean it's like all these sports radio that we just force ourselves to listen to and just hate ourselves for listening to it. They all do the same thing. It's like, what can we be negative about? Like today, the A block on WEI wasn't the Celtics winning by 41 points over the Bucks last night because they couldn't find that much negative things to talk about. They want to talk about the Red Sox. Are the Red Sox worth watching this year? And it's like they played one game. The Celtics are right though for a playoff run, and they're getting the B block right now over the Sox. They're about to play 162 games, and we're gonna have a whole summer to talk about because you couldn't find anything negative to say about the Celtics.
Yeah, it is funny how it works.
They went on a nice little 4-game win streak or whatever they had, where they were just beating the brakes off of people. We didn't hear a word about the Celtics, but they lost the Wizards, and it was like, all right, this is the A block today. Like they lost the Wizards. Like what are they doing? Like, and when we beat the Kings a couple days ago by 20. Like
I wonder if that's a particular a particular Boston thing. Like they just know the negativity just gets more clicks than the positivity.
the very Boston thing. Like
There's been nothing. This has been the best sports market for our entire lives, which is now going on 30 years. Like,
yeah.
there's not been much to complain about. And if there was, then like, is any sports city good? Like, is anything in sports good? Because like we've had some of the most dominant
about the
teams.
Pats. Like the Pats were dominating everybody with the greatest quarterback of all time and probably one of the greatest coaches to ever go down. And they're complaining about them. Oh, are they done? They lost to this team, this, that, and the third. And
Belichick's getting fired.
Belichick's not answering questions saying on to Cincinnati. It's like, yeah, you won the Super Bowl that year. This is the same thing every year. What are you doing?
And some of the fans are the reason to blame because they feed into it. The I don't know whether I think it is a particular like Boston thing, and I think New York has it too, but they lose. The New York is just a bad sports market because none of their teams can win.
Also,
None
the
of them
difference
can
between
win
Boston and New York is that we have 4 teams. New York has
a
3
million.
football teams. They have 2 hockey teams. They have 2 basketball teams.
Yeah,
2 baseball
but
teams,
and
then
none of them win anything.
and they also have so many different radio stations in New York. Like we have 2 sports radio stations to pick from. It's like, hey, which negative ones do you want to listen to today?
Yeah, and I feel like the New York ones are negative. I feel like Carton, what the
Uh,
Mad Dog Mike the Mad Dog, whatever his fucking name is. Um, the Italian dude they have there. Oh fuck, he's so funny.
I with white hair and the glasses. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, fuck, what is his name? I can't remember, but like they're negative, but they're justified to be negative. Their shit sucks.
Not winning. They're struggling to get in the playoffs.
The Mets are gonna fall apart again this year. Of course they are. Like that, it
You
happens
have
every year.
so many freaking teams to choose from to be negative about. Like you can find something to be negative about, but like we're winning, like, and you're not talking about them. I don't. It don't make no sense.
We've done nothing but win for 30 years. Like, and this has just been like, it's always the cliff is coming. It's always this is bad. It's always the good teams are never good enough. It's like
Sky is
fuck.
falling with the Celtics. Like, bro, we have the second most wins in the NBA right now, and the sky is falling.
And it's never been more apparent. Maybe because I'm fully hitting my sports knowledge peak than this Bruins run. The Bruins
We get no
are
play.
they're literally about to be the best hockey team of all time, and they cannot stop talking about how they're going to choke and gag and lose in the first round of the playoffs. It's like, what have you seen from this Bruins team to
Hell
make
yeah.
you think that's going to happen?
They had a whole thing on WEI today. Oh well, there's been so many Presidents Cup winners that have, or Presidents Trophy winners that haven't won the Stanley Cup. It's like, yeah, because there's one team every year that wins the cup, and one team every year that wins the President's Trophy.
Yeah, your odds
There's
aren't great.
there's 30 other teams in the league, so like your odds are not great on that. And they're like, oh well,
Yeah.
all the ones that won the President's Trophy and won the cup was back when there was 6 teams or 12 teams. It's like,
No, the black. They did so they did the same segment on Felger Mass today. The Blackhawks did it the year they beat the Bruins.
and it's like,
So
it's also like the Bruins just set the record for the most wins in franchise history last night.
yeah.
And we're going to talk about how they're not going to win the cup. We're not going to talk about how great the season's going and how great they're playing. They're not going to win the cup. It's like, sweet. Like, why can't we just enjoy what's going on now? Why can't we enjoy the moment for once?
And like what? So the best team in all of hockey, you're saying they're the least likely to win. Like they're going to lose. Like how do you know that they're the best team in hockey by like the logic? They have the best chance to win it because they've had the best season in the NHL. Not to mention the best season maybe of all time. And this is the Celtics podcast. I don't want to get too off kilter here, but the negativity is just fucking insane. But I feel positive. And listen, we got negative when we lost to this team, the Jazz, 2 weeks ago. So maybe we're a little bit to blame. But
Critical a little bit. But I mean, I was looking back on that game after a night's sleep. It's like, all right, well, we were down 2 or 3 stars that night. I guess the Jazz didn't play once. They play twice a year. And it's like after the All-Star game, after the All-Star break, you're kind of half-assing your way through the rest of the season anyways. And we've seen what this team does now. Like, I have faith that they can flip that switch to actually play.
yeah, we've seen it. They play good teams and they beat them like
Yeah, they beat them.
every time,
Every team we played after the All-Star break, we just beat the brakes off them, and they're good.
except for the Knicks.
The Knicks are a middling team. I wouldn't say they're a really good team. Like,
They were the hottest team besides the 76ers coming out of the break.
yeah,
They went on a sick run, and and I'm
Bucks-
saying this,
Bucks
maybe
went
we
on-
caught them in that run.
Bucks went on a better run than them. Bucks ran off like 20 straight at one point. We went in there and beat them by.
I mean, no team's been better than the 76ers since the break, and we've beaten them since the break.
Yeah, like I'm saying, all the teams that you have to step up against, we've stepped up against.
Mhm.
I think that if we end up facing the Knicks in the playoffs, I'm not worried about them.
No, I mean, I'm worried, and I think that's just not just about the Knicks. I'm worried about team, and I'm a fan, so of course I'm going to be worried. And two, I think it's that whole pessimist Northeastern Boston thing. Like maybe the cliff is coming. It's like, dude, just fucking enjoy that you even got here. It's been a sweet ride with the second best team in the league by like a razor thin margin from being the first best team.
You don't hop on the roller coaster waiting for it to end.
Yeah.
The roller coaster, enjoy the ride.
I feel like that is,
Well,
and that's much a motto for life.
no, I mean, like we gotta enjoy what we're doing right now, and then when the playoffs come, then we can start. Like when the playoffs start, that's when you can start being like, all right, well, we played game one. This were our deficiencies. This is where we were efficient at. Like, how is this going to play out going forward? That's when you can start making your predictions and your negatives or your positives on what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to play like 3 or 4 different teams in the next week and a half.
Mhm.
You can't predict out the rest of the season. You get your back to backs, your travel days. Like in the playoffs, it's all very regimented. Like this day, like Monday we're playing at home, Wednesday we're playing at home, Friday we're playing on the road, Sunday we're playing on the road. Like you can figure out where the travel is going to be, what's going to go on. You can make your adjustments, and you can make your predictions. But going through the regular season for us to predict like what's going to happen in the playoffs based off of what happened against the Jazz in a game in March is just a wild take, and it's just all negative, just trying to run up clicks. They put
Definitely.
Scalabrini on WEI and then they just like berate him, and they're just like, "Oh, yeah, why does Jaylen Brown not care about the Celtics? Why does he want to leave? Why does Jason Tatum only care about playing for himself?" And Scal's like, "I watch this team every day, and then none of this is true. You're
Yeah,
just saying things to say things, and then you're gonna cut out what I say in this interview and use it for more clickbait."
exactly.
And it just
Exactly.
have to put him out there to do that.
But we have a show to talk about every Friday, almost every Friday now. Who knows what's going to happen when the season's over? But these past few Fridays, we have a show to talk about that day. And much like the news radio, they have a show to talk about that day. It just doesn't have to be that negative. And you don't have to be worried about the end because we're in the middle of a really good run right now. So, much like you said, folks, you get on the ride to enjoy the ride. You don't get on the ride to worry about the end.
What it is.
So
We're hoping for a
sit
great
back.
end to the ride, but
Yeah, it's the
that
end's
last
the
drop
end.
is great, and that last drop ends you up with the Larry O'Brien back in Waltham. But here we go. The
Sit
line
back,
hasn't even started yet. To be honest, you're just sitting. We're all waiting in line to get on the roller coaster, which is the playoffs.
and it's going to be a fun playoffs. It's going to
I,
be a good playoffs.
I'm so excited for the playoffs. I just want to watch everybody eat their freaking words about the Celtics.
The Celtics, I mean, just in general, this is the NBA is like so wide open. It's going to be fun to watch. You know, it's fun to watch right now. Every game matters. Like there's games being played right now during that matter for seeding in the West and in the East. So like,
We talked
it's
about
just
earlier, Lakers.
yeah,
They got what? They win tonight, they get to 7. They lose, they're in the 10, and you're playing for a play-in spot. Like
hmm
this late in the season, beautiful.
crazy,
Beautiful basketball. We love this. This is one of the best times of the year.
definitely. So folks, I think that's where we're going to end it.
Love
Your
it.
Celtics win 122 to 114 at home. They do their job. It was fun to watch. It's going to be fun to watch them the rest of the way too, and it's going to be a great playoffs. So, like Steve Crowley says, don't worry about the end. Enjoy the ride. So let's sit back and enjoy it. Steve, anything else?
Let's fucking go Celtics.
Let's go Celtics. This has been the Banner Report. Peace.
Beautiful.
God, I have to pee so bad.
Yeah. We didn't take a break this